Sorry, guys. My brother. What do you say? Yeah, for server one. Yep. Class Alpha is just there's two classes in OSUT, Class Alpha and Class Bravo. So Class Alpha is just Top's class, Class Bravo is my class, and they're just all both at different times. Private cut. Not once you just let me know when, or you're selecting your slot and then copy. There we. All right, stand by. Can you move around, private cut, or no? Copy. A good button for push talk can be Ultra Control. That's what I used to use. You can have multiply if you have buttons on your mouse. Use multiply on your numpad as one of your push talk keys. Okay. Copy. All right. All right. So first off, welcome to OSUT Day 1. And overall, OSUT it is a 4-day long course. It comprises of basically your 3 days of instruction or instructional period, and then day 4, which is your graduation. So with that said, that guys, want to make sure you take notes, jot down anything that you are taught or learned, and the civic practices and that you've done for it to make yourself efficient with it. So that you can be prepared for your graduation. Because in day 4, you have your practical exercise, which is just a field training exercise. You're going through a live fire course for you to compass everything that you were taught, and we judge and see whether or not you guys learned something and used it in the battlefield. Then if everything goes well from that point, which means that everyone went KIA'd and you guys didn't mess up too much, then we'll move on towards your oral quiz. And your oral quiz is just a win-lose situation, 50-50 chance whether or not you pass it or fail it. So you're given one question, and you have to answer your question. Whatever you say will be your final answer. Sometimes we might want to ask. Sometimes we'll ask you again, "Are you sure?" But whatever you say is your final answer. You guys want to make sure that you study your notes and be careful on what you say and what information you get from other people. So if you fail it, then you'll be recycled back to beginning of day 1. And if it was worse than that, then you'll be recycled back to recruit training, which means some things you missed out during recruit training that you did not pay attention towards. What else I want to say? And then if you pass, then we'll go over to the next portion, wherever else needs to be there. Okay. Now, first off, I am Staff Sergeant Smith, but you just call me Sergeant. In the Army, you'll call anyone who is an NCO of a sergeant or higher as Sergeant. Now, if I was a first sergeant, sergeant major, master sergeant, command sergeant major, then you will refer to me by my full rank. So you, instead of calling me sergeant, you call me first sergeant or master sergeant. So, and the only highest NCO we have, or I should say the only SNCO we have in the company, is first sergeant. So you refer to first sergeant as first sergeant, nothing more, nothing less. You hear sometimes you hear other people refer to him as top. That's just because he's a top sergeant. But you don't get that that glory or the ability to call him top until you graduate OSUT. Now it also includes any other NCO corporals. You can refer to them as corporals and sergeants, and whatever else. You always want to refer people by their rank and then their name. And the same thing goes on along with the officers. For the second lieutenant, first lieutenant, you just refer to them as lieutenant. Don't say the full rank. That's only in the Marine Corps. We don't say it the full rank in the Army. You also could just call them by sir. And then with captains, you call them captain, major, and so on and so forth. Any questions so far? Okay. Now, in cases of where we have other NCOs higher than myself enter the channel, so a Sergeant First Class or higher, then we'll call the room to at ease. Usually it's up to the person who is the highest enlisted personnel in the room to call the room to at ease if someone that ranks him joins in. Now, if that person is able to catch it, did not see or whatever, either it's up to you guys to remind him, to say, hey, Sergeant, the first sergeant here or whatever, or go ahead and call the room to at ease for him. Now, if a sergeant joined the channel, then the room has to be called to these, because I outrank that sergeant. If a staff sergeant joins the channel, then the room doesn't call to EIDs because you're both the same rank. If he has something important to discuss, and he has to tell me so he can be able to speak. Now, we'll move on towards officers. Any officers join the channel, then we'll call the room to attention, or class attention, wherever the setting is. And there's a second lieutenant join the channel, and the first lieutenant join the channel, then you'll call the room to attention. But if captain channel, lieutenant joins the channel, you don't call the room to attention. Sorry, if the captain's in the channel and the lieutenant decides to join the channel, then you don't call the room to attention because the captain outranks the. Any questions with calling the room to IDs or attention? Okay. Now, lastly, I'm going to refer to warrant officers and chief warrant officers as Mr. or Mrs. Sometimes you could refer to a chief warrant officer as chief warrant officer, or refer to them as chief. But that's, like I said, that's another way of informally calling them, and you only get that by earning respect from them. And then when you earn that respect, you'll be able to call them chief. But you just address them as Mr. and Mrs. or chief warrant officer if they're a chief warrant officer. Any questions? Okay. Sorry. Okay. Now, there are times in my discussion of when I'm talking to you guys and I'm asking if you're tracking or if you guys understand what I'm saying. Just make sure you respond back to saying, yes, Sergeant, I understand. If you're confused with anything, you say, no, Sergeant. Our private cannot has a question, or our private Wix has a question, so I can know who's the one that has a question. Most times I'm looking down on the tablet or trying to change slides or whatever I'm doing, and I do not know whose everyone's voices is at this time. So just do me a favor and make sure you guys keep that up. Now, also, you always want to refer to anyone you're speaking to. Like I said, if they're an enlisted or an officer, by their rank. And if they give you the time to actually not skip over here from that part, but you have a comment or a question. If you have a question, you're going to type a Q in chat, inside chat. If you have a comment, you're going to type a C inside chat. Don't put it in group chat because sometimes people aren't always in your group. Always want to put in a side chat, that way everyone else can see that you have a comment or question and they'll address it at the most convenient time as possible. Never want to interrupt someone that's talking and say, Sergeant, I have a question while, or First Sergeant or Captain or Lieutenant, or whatever, I have a question while they're in the middle of talking. It is very rude. So it's up to you guys to put question or comment. Now for me, I don't mind if you guys, if there's a little pause when I'm speaking and you have a question or comment, you know, say, hey, Sergeant Private Cannot has a question. If I'm in the middle of a pause or transitioning to a new subject, then you could do that. If like there's no, you don't have to type a C or Q or C in chat because I stopped talking. You know what I'm saying? But that's only for me, so people are different. Okay, now to move on. All right, so now to move on though. I want to say now, if anyone addresses a question or comment, what me by that is Private Cannot, go ahead and send your question, or Private Cannot, go ahead and send your comment. Then never forget to thank the person to giving you time to speak. So if I tell you to go ahead and send your comment or question, then it's up to you. You need to make sure to say thank you, Sergeant. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, sir. Thank you, First Sergeant. Because if you don't, then you're not displaying any common courtesy, and we're here to make you a soldier and to make a gentleman out of you. So if you don't have no common courtesy of thanking the person giving you time to speak during their talking time, then you might as well not even get a chance to speak anymore. That's why sometimes you hear us stop a person who just started talking and tell them, and we say, thank you, Sergeant. Or thank you, sir. To help correct you and tell you this is what you should say. I'm not going to give you a hint and tell you, Private Cannot, you did something wrong. I'm going to say, thank you, Sergeant. And if you don't get where we're nudging to you, then we have you stop right there and then tell you, start from the beginning. We're going to wait till you figure out what you did wrong. But make sure you always address the person and thank the person that's giving you time to speak. Any questions? All right. Day one for today. Main focus is for us to go over communications, infantry movement formations, everything along those lines. So all in all, infantry soldier skills. Day two, the agenda for that is to basically go over movement and maneuver. Help you guys figure out how to move as a fire team, as a squad, within the set formations we went over if we have time today or tomorrow morning. I mean, if you get what I mean, tomorrow morning, but beginning class. And then transition over to maneuver. Show you guys what to do whenever you get engaged by contacts, calling out those power reports, contact reports, how to maneuver and limit the enemy, and then how to readjust, reconsolidate, and continue your movement. Day three, we'll go over some basic navigation skills and working with the vehicles, such as convoy movements and convoy procedures. And then day four, which is all those 2 days or next week, we'll end up the class with practical exercise and graduation. Now, the class you're carrying in is Class Alpha. This class is run by the First Sergeant. Assistant is Sergeant Myers. Currently, right now, neither of the two are available to do the class. They asked me to hope to fill in for them today. However, those two are your direct chain of command. So, you have any questions, you're going to message the First Sergeant. If the First Sergeant does not respond to you within the 48 hours, then you send it to Sergeant Myers. If he doesn't respond, then I'm sorry, send to Sergeant Myers. Sergeant Myers will first ask you, did you ask First Sergeant? Don't. Then he won't respond back, or he'll tell you to actually go through the COC. So don't be afraid to ask First Sergeant any questions. I'll tell you this, there's no dumb question. I'll tell you look dumb is if you don't ask a question, you go to the battlefield and you mess up for everyone else. And then you end up having everyone else fail because of your mistake. Alright, here, our goals here at OSUT we try to accomplish is first off, that we're trying to make sure that OSUT is a mix of BCT and AIT. All in all, this way every soldier is first and foremost a rifleman. And we try our best to give you those skills of a rifleman so that you could never have an excuse and always have the ability to be in 11 Bravo. So if you graduate OSUT You decide to become a 153 Alpha or a rotary pilot. In other words, you could still fill in as 11 Bravo for any squad that has training or an operation or whatever. If you're 11 Charlie, which is an indirect fire infantryman, you can still fill in as 11 Bravo. Now, the individual infantry skills that we try to accomplish all within OSUT is shoot, move, communicate, survive, and sustain. I'll say it again: shoot, move, communicate, survive, and sustain. Now within OSUT, we also want to introduce you guys and try to have you be able to know the basic tactics that we use in the 506. And whatever we instruct you is basically a template that allows you to adapt to what was taught to you as needed and fill in any additional information that you might need to put in to help yourself understand information that we said to you. Now the overview of today is communications, basic weapons, basic engagement techniques, and basic engagement procedures. Out of shoot, move, communicate, survive, and sustain. Communicate, survive, and sustain. Alright. So 2 out of the 5 individual infantry skills that we're trying to accomplish today is communicate and shoot. Now, before we begin and move on to the classroom, here's some things I want to make sure you guys know in your mind throughout OSUT. In OSUT, we mostly train those that go through the class and how to be a leader and soon enough how to take up a leadership billet. Because soon enough, you're going to have to actually step up as a fire team leader or squad leader and lead your fire team or lead your squad. So in OSUT, we train leaders. Our best and brightest future leaders that we're going to have here in the unit. So I want you guys keep this in mind. Leadership is not about being in charge. Leadership is about taking care of those in your charge. Myself as a squad leader, I don't act as a squad leader just to boss people around. I'm a squad leader to help my men go into battle, go to any battle, any firefight, and come out there alive and be able to have something to do. I'm not just send them out there, have them take point, not myself take point, and have them get shot at, and make them one of a piece of bait, whatever it may be. I'm going to be out there in the front along with my guys, bringing them to the battle and make sure that they're safe as possible. They're the first ones on the bird, first one's off. If you get what I mean by first one's off, it sounds bad, but I mean by is their first one's off that bird and make sure they don't get shot at, if you get what I mean. Alright, now our jobs as S3 instructors, our responsibilities ensure that every soldier is prepared to be able to succeed throughout the unit and throughout OSUT. If you guys do not graduate OSUT, you guys do not succeed well in the unit, and you just one of a bad product of our training, then we failed ourselves as instructors. You didn't do anything wrong. It's our fault. It's our fault for not drilling it in your head and putting more discipline into you, so that you could come out as one of the most brightest students that we have. So nothing is taken for granted that we teach, that we know, and that what we instruct. And that every soldier is given the knowledge and skills to thrive in the unit. Now, OSUT is a place where taking responsibility for yourself and care of your brothers is highly significant, and it has a high meaning into it. This place is to build friendships, and develop yourself as a leader. And because we take our job as NCOs very highly and seriously, the bar is kept very high in OSUT. You will be instructed on specific procedures for performing tasks, and we expect everyone to follow these procedures as discussed and demonstrated by the numbers. What that means is that we expect you to do everything that we told you by the same way we taught it to you. So don't add any additional stuff. Don't take away any stuff from what we told you. Now, we use a explain, demonstrate, and practice approach in our training. Every topic covered will follow that format if we have time permitted to us. If not, then we'll try our best to make sure you guys are able to understand information that we said to you. Any questions? Go ahead, Private Wicks. Yes. Private Connaught, was that you that said you have a question? Okay. All right. What we're going to do is go head on to the classroom. What you guys got to do is make sure you take your soft covers and put it into your uniform, or just stow away your soft covers. If you have any eye pro, you can stow that away when you enter into the classroom. Same thing happens if we have our uniform and we're going to the classroom. You're going to do the same thing as well. And once you go through that door, you're going to make sure you go to your left. There should be a cargo net box to your left. You're going to grab a radio out of that box, put it in a respective slot it's supposed to be in, and then you're going to grab the seats in the front row. Any questions? All right. Go ahead and do a left face. All right, go ahead and follow me. You're going to do Windows key to sit on the seat. Alright, so first off, we're going to go over some radio communications. You're going to hear this a lot from myself and anyone else, most likely, that the number one most important thing that infantry, that us as infantry in here has. Sorry. Number one thing that we hear in infantry that we have here at our disposal, and any other element there, is our radio and our communication. Thanks for the follow, Commander Root. Or sure that's Grow. I don't know. Or Root, whatever. But thank you so much for follow. And the reason why our radios is the number one most important thing here to us is because we're able to transmit information up and down a chain of command. Inform anything down to a cockroach to know what we're about to engage, what we see, and what's happening. If we can't radio stuff down, then squads will get flanked, squads will get overrun, bases will get overthrown, airframes will get shot down, and the US military won't be as powerful as it used to be. So communication and our radios is the most important thing. So we want to make sure that this is the first thing we tell you how to use it, what to do with your radios, and how to communicate. That you guys could be one of the most baddest soldiers we have here at our disposal. Any questions? Alright. So each radio has several available programmable channels that we have. And it contains their own frequency, allowing soldiers to communicate with one another over their assigned networks. Now, your networks are assigned to you based off of the squad you're in. So, or team, I should say, or element or unit. That is your network. So if you're in the first squad, then the first squad is your network. And the frequency that's assigned to the network, or assigned to the first squad, would be the frequency that you were given or whatever. So in OSUT, Alpha Fire Team, which is a network, their frequency is 100.1. Then Bravo Fire Team, which is a network, their frequency is 100.2. Then the last network we're going to go over is Squad, or OSUT First Squad. The frequency for that network is 100. Any questions? Do we know what a network is and their frequency is? Do you know what those two terminologies are? Okay. Now, the battalion signal operating instructions detail the side networks and frequencies of everyone else, which can generally be found by clicking on each squad's forum page. So if you look on the forums, look at their squad forum page, you'll see their network and their assigned frequencies to that network. And you could do that as well by looking at each squad's TeamSpeak description. The TeamSpeak descriptions will detail to you their network and their frequency. Any questions in relation to that as well? Now, you will hear the terms of TeamNet, SquadNet, PlatoonNet, so on and so forth. Those are the networks that are out there, which has their own frequency. So, if you're an Alpha team, your team network is Alpha team, of course, but your frequency is what? What did you write down? What is your frequency? Yep, 100.1. Alright, so let's move on to something different. Now here's something that's a little more complicated, which I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you. Now, the frequencies are listed in this particular order, so let me give you an example. Let's say Havoc 1-1. So Havoc 1-1 means first squad, first platoon of Alpha Company. And the letter A is what number in the alphabet? The second letter in the alphabet? I should say number, but what letter in the alphabet? The letter A is what in the alphabet? It's the first letter in the alphabet. So we can automatically assume that we'll just relate that to a 1. So Havoc 1-1 is the first squad and the first platoon of Alpha Company. Since Alpha, or A, is the first letter in the alphabet, we'll simulate that as 1. So they have an assigned frequency for their squad and team net. So Havoc 1-1 has their own assigned frequency for squad and team nets. So their net is 111 for squad net. So that first one in those 3 ones is Alpha Company. That second one is the platoon, and then the first platoon. Then that third one is that they're the first squad. So you see how all those 3 ones are there for a reason? So we can somewhat kind of know what the frequencies are for each squad in the unit, most likely. So yes, and then Bravo Fire Team will be what? 1-2. Alright, so let's get a frequency for Havoc 2-3. Probably could not try to do that. So Havoc 2, get a frequency for Havoc 2-3. All these are under Alpha Company. So what's the frequency for Havoc 2-3? This is for Private Cannot, not for your Private Leaks. I'm trying to see if Private Cannot understands it. Havoc 2-3. They're in the first company, so that means that that first digit in that 3-digit would be what? What number? So you see those 3 X's I just put in chat, correct? What number would that first X be? Since it is Alpha Company. 1, alright. So Havoc 2-3. So what's the second X gonna be? Okay, the last X would be what? 3. Havoc 2-3 is the third squad. And what platoon? Second platoon. And what company? No. Alpha Company, because remember it was 1. Yeah, 1, yeah. So let's try to figure out one for Havoc 3-4. What's their frequency? All these, if it's a call sign's Havoc, then that means that they're the first company, or Alpha Company, so you already know what the first number is. So Havoc 3-4, what's their frequency? Yep, 134. Now, Havoc 3-4 Charlie, what's their frequency? But so Charlie means that's a team inside that squad. Yep, 134.3. All right, let's continue on now. So you know your sign frequencies in OSUT, so you'll move on towards some call signs. So call signs are established in the SOI, and they follow in a logical order. Call sign for Alpha Company of the 1st Battalion is Havoc. Every squad, every platoon in Alpha Company, the 3 platoons and the 12 squads will follow the call sign of Havoc. Therefore, all call signs within Alpha Company following accordingly will be Havoc. So, for example, the 1st platoon of Alpha Company is Havoc 1. What is the call sign for the 2nd platoon of Alpha Company? First platoon of Alpha Company is Havoc 1, so what is the call sign for Havoc 2? Oh, I already said it. Alright. Havoc 2 is 2nd platoon. So 2nd platoon, Alpha Company, their call sign is Havoc 2. So what about the 3rd platoon? Havoc 3, there you go. And then what about, we don't have a 4th platoon, but is, they're called, what they called? What's it? The mortars. Their call sign will be what? They count as a 4th section in our company, so they're going to be Havoc what? Yeah, Havoc 4. There you go. They'd be Havoc 4. Now, those who are the commander of that element will be a 6. Who's ever the executive commander, executive officer of that current element will be 5. And then whoever is the most senior NCO of that element, they'll be 7. So the captain, he's the commanding officer of the whole company, so he's Havoc 6. Then Harris Bang's XO of the company, so he's Havoc 5. And then the 1st sergeant, he's the highest enlisted officer in the company, so he's Havoc 7. So what would a platoon leader's call sign be? It's a little pop quiz because I didn't give an example of that. But what would a platoon leader's call sign be of 1st platoon? No, not Havoc 5, no. Because like I said, those 3, Havoc 5, Havoc 6, and Havoc 7 is already taken. No. So here, let me give you an example, or somewhat of a hint. And both of you guys can answer this. Let's say, so this is 1st platoon Alpha Company, right? So what's 1st platoon Alpha Company's call sign? Again. Havoc what? This is 1st platoon. What did their call sign be? Havoc 1, there you go. Somehow said the person that's in charge of that element is 6. Executive officer of that element will be 5. And whoever's highest NCO will be 7, right? So the platoon leader of Havoc, Havoc 1, or 1st platoon, his call sign is what? You have to add, so here, you have to add a digit after that Havoc 1-6. Platoon leader. Platoon leader is an officer. He's the person in charge of the platoon. What about the platoon sergeant? He's the highest listed personnel in that platoon, so he's what? No, not 1-5, no. 1-7, there we go. He's not enlisted, he's not an officer, he's an enlisted personnel. He's the highest NCO, or I should say he's an SNCO. So senior non-commissioned officer of that platoon. Alright. About the platoon sergeant for Havoc, for 3rd platoon. The platoon sergeant for 3rd platoon would be, what is his call sign? Not 2-6, no, 3rd platoon, not 2nd platoon. The platoon sergeant. Yep. He's the SNCO. No, not 3-8. SNCO, the highest enlisted personnel. 3-7, there you go. Like I said, The 6 on it symbolizes that they're the highest officer, or the officers in charge of that element. And the 5 is executive officer, second in command to the officer. And then 7 is the SNCO, or the highest enlisted personnel. So Havoc 7 is the first sergeant. Havoc 1-7 is Sergeant Reynolds. Havoc 2-7 is Sergeant Garcia. Havoc 3-7 is Sergeant Ritchie. So 1-7, 2-7, 3-7, all those are platoon sergeants. 1-6, 2-6, and 3-6, all those are platoon leaders. But that's something that's very confusing, and you guys will get this when you get into a billet. I just wanted to introduce this to you guys so you get somewhat of an understanding. But let's continue on without wasting more time. Alright, so in OSUT, because we don't go beyond squad level, the call signs used in OSUT fall into the informal category of squad level call signs. So these are informal call signs. So in this case, the squad leader will be known as actual. He won't be called by his calling station. Do we know what calling stations are? Yes, no? Alright, so remember how I said Havoc 7 or Havoc 1-7 or 3-7? Remember how I said that? Those are calling stations. So my call station would be Havoc 3-2. So I'm the squad leader of Havoc 3-2. But I said Havoc 3-7, and that 7 symbolizes that I'm the SNCO of a 3rd platoon. So I'll refer to myself as Havoc 3-7. They don't know that I'm platoon sergeant of Havoc 3, or a 3rd platoon. If I said Havoc 1-2, they know that I'm the squad leader of the 2nd squad of the 1st platoon. Oh, but you guys don't get, I'm pretty sure you guys don't get what I mean, but you get, like I said, you guys will get it soon enough. Alright. So instead of using calling stations, you're going to use informal call signs. So let me just go over call stations quick. Calling stations are basically your billet. So if I was a rifleman of Alpha Team of the 2nd squad of the 3rd platoon, then I would say, this is Havoc 3-2 Bravo Romeo, or rifleman, but I can't say Romeo because that's different call sign, so I'll just say Havoc 3-2 Bravo. That's my call station because my billet is within that fire team. But you guys will get what I mean soon enough. Alright, so the informal call sign for the squad leader is actual, so that's what you refer to him as on the squad net and on fire team net. Fire team leaders are known by their fire team designation. So if you're an Alpha fire team, then if you're a fire team of Alpha fire team, then your call sign would be Alpha. If you're the fire team leader of Bravo fire team, then your call sign is Bravo. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Private Knot, you're the fire team leader of Bravo. What's your call sign? Yep, and Private Wicks, you're the squad leader. What's your informal call sign? There we go. So now we know what actual Alpha Bravo is. When communicating with each other, squad and fire team leaders refer to one another using these informal call signs to distinguish between who is speaking. Never want to use your names on SquadNet or higher. On TeamNet, you can use names, but on SquadNet or higher, you're going to use your informal call signs and your calling stations if you're on Platoon Net. Alright. Now moving over all this stuff, now let's get ready to use our radio. Now, throughout the whole time instruction, do not press your push talk key. That is for, sorry, not push talk key. Do not use your hotkey that you have set to transmit over the radio. There will be a time for us to check to see if our radio is working, if you're on the right frequency. Everyone understand me? Alright, go ahead and press Control P. Bring up your radio, let me know when you have it up. Alright. There's some things you want to know about your radio. First off, you see where it says C1? Alright. C1 means the channel that you're currently on. So you're currently on channel 1. That's the channel you currently want to edit or transmit over. Now on the right of C1 is your current frequency. That's the current frequency that you're on that set channel. So mine says 312.3 whatever you guys may say, whatever. Now, let's look at the top interface of this radio. You see those two knobs? The black middle knob allows you to decrease and increase your volume. If you left click, it decreases your volume. If you right click, it increases your volume. The knob on the right does nothing, knob on the left does nothing. Now you move on. The 1, 2, and 3 does nothing on your radio. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 does nothing when... Actually, I'm incorrect. It allows you to enter your frequency. So if you press 1... Nope, it actually doesn't work. I thought it worked, but disregard. It does nothing when inputting in your frequency. So when you gotta type your frequency down, you gotta either use your numpad or your keypad of the numbers. A CLR allows you to clear your frequency, so it clears out everything, resulting in a blinking indicator or blinking cursor to tell you that it's clear. You can type your frequency down. You can also highlight it by clicking and dragging and backspacing on it, or you can backspace from the beginning or whatever else you want to do. But a more efficient, easier way is pressing your CLR button. The ENT button allows you to set your frequency. So it locks the current display frequency that you have typed in that channel and locks it into that channel. Those two buttons on your PRE, the plus and minus, allows you to go up a channel or down channel. So you go to channel 2, if you press the plus button, press down button, you go to channel 8. There's only 8 channels, not 9. Alright, now the left facing arrow button allows you to set an additional channel. The right facing arrow allows you to set your radio to speakers. Never want to do that. You get if someone says someone's radio on for speakers, and do yourself a favor, press Control P, go into radio, press the right facing arrow until it says in your bottom right where it says headphones. Then you know it's going through your headset that you have in your earpiece you have in your ear, then going through your speakers of your radio. Now, if you put it through your speakers, then people is gonna start hearing double. They're gonna hear whatever they hear on their radio and hear what you're doing over your radio. And it's gonna cause a great amount of feedback. So please never put your radio on speakers. So never press the right facing arrow unless your radio was defaultly on speaker or something. Then lastly, that 0 with the parentheses on it. Those are your stereo settings. It allows you to cycle your current channel that you're currently on to your left ear, right ear, or to transmit on both your ears. Any questions? Alright. We got our short range radio established. Now let's go ahead and set our frequency in. So go ahead and press your CLR button to clear your current frequency. Let me know once you've done that. Alright. Now, what is our frequency for Alpha Fire Team? Alright, let's go ahead and type that down. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to unmute everything, my sound. But how you doing, Stonesy? I don't think Commander Root heard me when I told him thank you for the follow, whatever. All right, so if your primary channel is 10, I'm sorry, your district channel should be channel of of whatever it is above you. So if you're a team leader, your district channel should be your squad net. If you're a squad leader, your district channel should be your platoon net. If you're a platoon leader, your district channel should be your task force. Should be the task force net or company net. But it's a little bit different around there. You'll be on your long range instead of your short range at that point. But that's something different that you guys will know when you become squad leaders. I mean, platoon HQ. All right. Any questions? Any confusions? What I said?
No, Sergeant.
All right. So to continue, so if you're a fire team leader, what's your additional channel be? What's above you?
Your additional channel should be
What network is it? Yep, there you go. Yep. Network above fire team net is your squad net. As fire team leader, you gotta monitor and speak on squad net just the same as you gotta monitor and speak on your fire team net. However, though, your fire team net is your primary channel, should always transmit. Well, it's your preference of whether that be in left ear or right ear, but channel 1 should always be your primary channel based on your billet. So if you're a fire team leader, then your channel 1 should be your primary channel. Wait a minute. Alright, channel 1 should be your team net. Fire team member, your team net should be channel 1. Your squad leader, then your primary channel should be what net?
100.
100, that's your channel 1. And then your this channel should be what? What network? Not frequency, what network? It's not fire team network, it's not squad network, it's what? What's above a squad level?
Your platoon.
There you go, platoon level. So your platoon net should be your district channel. Alright, any questions from there?
No, Sergeant.
Alright, now we know all this information. We'll continue on to some what we call pro words. Or procedure words. Now I don't want to start off just yet with that. Let me just give you guys quick reminders. We use phonetic numbers, and some things you guys want to keep significant to you is 3, 5, and 9. 3 is said as in tree, thing that grows on the ground. 5 is said as five. So the V is an F. So instead of having a V, it's an F. So 5. Then the 9 is niner. So you have an R after the E. So niner. This usually happens if someone says, what did you say? Or say again. Grid reference. So if I said grid reference is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9. And if someone says say again, grid reference, then I would say 1, what did I say again? 1, 3, 9, whatever. 1, 2, tree. 4, 5, niner. So if someone didn't hear what you said before again, then you use the phonetic numbers. Sometimes if you're sending out important information, you want a person to know, then you'll say phonetic numbers right then and there without waiting for the person to say again. You use phonetic numbers if you're sending in important transmissions. Now we use the phonetic alphabet as well. We don't use the military, the civilian phonetic alphabet. We use the military, or the NATO phonetic alphabet. So it'll be Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, Golf, Hotel, India, Juliet, Kilo, Lima, so on and so forth. So all the way down to the bottom of the alphabet. I don't know if I said my ABCs correctly. Still, everything or whatever. Glad to hear that, Stunzy.
Graphic on it.
Say again?
Permission to speak, Sergeant.
Alright, go ahead.
By chance, can we pause this for about a minute?
If y'all need a minute break, go ahead and take it.
Alright, thank you, sir. Well,
Sergeant.
Yeah. It's looking like I might have to bail in about 30 minutes.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, I am taking the opportunity to take my notes on my laptop here, so it's just as well, really.
Copy. And you're going to be here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here tomorrow.
Alright. The whole day, right?
Sorry, this is not what I, yeah, no, I'll be for the whole thing tomorrow.
Okay.
I just wasn't anticipating, I got your message this morning, so I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, fine, I'll do it.
I didn't want Private Canot to go by himself, at least for the radio portion of some things. Yeah.
No, it's important to have somebody to do the radio stuff with
Yep.
practice because it took I thought more than a couple tries to figure that out.
Private, not private. Sonzi, yep, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I think I muted my
Sorry about
sound
that,
and my
Sergeant, about
mic. My fault. All right, cool.
That's
Yup.
I will also be like right back. I'm just gonna get some water. You can keep going. I know I'm pretty much good on the radio stuff.
All right. So phonetic alphabet, like I said, we using the native phonetic alphabet. We don't use the civilian alphabet, which is Adam. Whatever else is after that. All right. So we'll continue on with radio procedure words. So radio procedures and procedure words, also known as pro words. So first off is you. This is me. You, this is me. It happens whenever you're trying to establish binary control of a net. So when we mean by binary control, which means a two-way control. So you and another person. So you want to establish two-way control of the net with yourself and whoever else you're trying to transmit to. So, however, though, you don't gain control of the net until the person responds to you. If I say Private Wicks, this is Sergeant Smith, doesn't respond, and it's common courtesy for you to give it about 15 seconds to see that person responds. If no one responds, then you could go ahead and go into that transmission and say, Private so-and-so, this is Private Knot. Then if he responds, then now you two have control of the net. It's too bad for myself because Private Wicks wasn't there when I sent transmission to him. See what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Yep. All right. So once someone you try and communicate to responds to you, now you two own the net. So the net now belongs to the two parties speaking, the one who established connection and the one who responded. The example of this, like I already said before, but with the informal call signs on Squadnet would be actual, this is alpha. So if you're alpha team lead, it would be actual, this is alpha.
Understood, Sergeant.
You're going to use you, this is me, every time when you're trying to communicate to somebody. So if I'm trying to start the control net and I say Private Cannot, this is Sergeant Smith, and you respond back saying Sergeant Smith, this is Private Cannot, send it over. And I say Private Cannot, Sergeant Smith, and I keep talking over, and you'll say Sergeant Smith, this is Private Cannot, this and that, and it keeps going. Keep using you, this is me, to the end of the traffic. Now, like I said, in TNet, you're not going to do that. TNet, you're just going to say, hey, Alpha, or hey, Smith, get over there, or whatever, this and that. I'm never going to use you, this is me on TeamNet. But for SquadNet and higher, you're going to use it. The reason why I say for SquadNet and higher, in SquadNet, if you just say, this is Alpha, blah, 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 and not trying to initiate that traffic with your squad leader, he's going to hear 1/4 or 1/3 of what you said. The 2/3 or the 3/4 of what he's hearing is from TuneNet. So that's why you guys want to be careful with stuff like that. You want to make sure that you establish that binary control and do that so that the person can know, oh, someone's talking to me, I probably should listen and respond to them. So you always want to make sure someone is hearing what you're saying. Because if you just say, Alpha's actual, we got a BTR over here without saying over to see if I'm responding to you, then I didn't hear you say there's a BTR over there and I'm ending up getting myself shot, or I didn't call up tuning or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. Next pro word is over. Over means that you're done transmitting your message and you require a response after that, or you're expecting a response. Net is still under the control of you two, or the two parties initiated. So you and the other person you're transmitting to. And that nobody should transmit through that traffic. Example of this would be if I was starting this traffic or initiating the traffic, I'm the first one starting this off, and I'm the Alpha team leader, I would say actual, this is Alpha, over. Then I'll say Alpha's actual, send it, and then actual, this is Alpha, what is your location, over. Now, next pro word is out. Out means that you're done transmitting your message and you no longer require a response after that. The net is no longer under our control and other people can now transmit through this network. Now,
Understood, sir.
the person that says out is the one initiated the traffic. So, Alpha said, Alpha, this is actual, over. And I say actual, this is Alpha, so your traffic. Actual, this is Alpha, interrogative. What is ETA on us getting a resupply? Then I say, Alpha, this is actual. And then he says over, sorry. Then I say, Alpha, this is actual. ETA on resupply is 3 mics over. Now, you have to make sure you say out. So I'm not going to out you. Unless you haven't outed me, then I'm going to say I'm going to out you because I don't got time to wait. But it's up to you to out the traffic. So you guys say, so to make sure that I heard you, or so that you can know that I heard you, that you heard me, I should say, you'll say, actual, this is Alpha, Roger, out. Or Roger, Alpha, out. Or whatever. As long as you say out. Now, sometimes people in the command or in higher leadership positions, such as squad leaders or higher, may out your traffic even though they didn't start it. So if you said, actual, this is Alpha, interrogative, over, and then I say, Alpha, this is actual, send your question over, and then you say, actual, this is Alpha, interrogative, this is ETA and resupply, and I can say, and then you say over, and then I say, Alpha, this is actual, ETA and resupply is 3 mics out. I could out you on that because I might have to send traffic to Bravo or Alpha, or have to hurry up and speak on Platoon Net or whatever. Understand what I'm saying on that position?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But if you're not squad leader, you're just team leader or lower, not out a person. Unless you're the one that initiated it. Now, tell me, want to take a note, write this on your notes. Never, ever in your life, ever use over and out together. Never use over and out together. They mean very different things. Over means you're done your transmission, you require a response. Out means you're done your transmission, no longer need a response. I hear someone say over and out, then I'm gonna be confused. Does he want a response or not? Then I'm gonna sit there thinking, and I'm gonna talk to them, and saying, "Do you look for a response, whatever?" So make sure you guys do not make that mistake. You understand what I'm saying, Private Canot? Private Wicks?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Understood.
Continue. However, though, do not forget to use over or use out when transmitting to indicate to others when or when they cannot respond, or when others can or cannot transmit over the network. On time, you are allowed to break through a transmission when you haven't heard an out yet. Is break, break, break. But we'll go over break, break, break soon enough. Next procedure word or pro word is wait over. Wait over means that you need 30 seconds to a minute to respond to the last transmission that was sent to you. And however, you and the other person or the other party still has control or still need control over that net. So if I said, Alpha, this is actual, Ace report over, and because Ace reports take some time to get, then you'll say, actual, this is Alpha, wait over. And I know, okay, you heard what I said, and I'm pretty sure you telling me to wait a second, 30 seconds to a minute so that you could gather an Ace report. Then let's say actual, this is Alpha, Ace report over, and then I'll say Alpha, this is actual, send your Ace report over, and then you'll say Alpha, this is actual, Ace report as follows, green, green, green over, and I'll say Alpha, this is actual, Roger out. Goes on like that. So that's what wait over means. Any questions on wait over?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. Next is wait out. Wait out means that you need longer than a minute to respond to the last transmission sent to you, and that you believe that you and the other person that party should free out the net, or free up the net that other calling stations could transmit over that network. So wait out. So an example of this would be if you're in a firefight and I say actual Alpha, this is actual, what is your grid location and your Ace report over? And if you're in the middle of a firefight and you don't have time to give me that, and then you'll, instead of just saying, I'm in a firefight, I can't give you my Ace report, this and that, and this, you just say, actual, this is Alpha, wait out. I know, okay, you're probably in some heated stuff, let me go walk to you to see if I get that better information, or let me just ask Bravo what their Ace report is while I wait for you, give me that Ace report. Any questions on that?
No, Sergeant.
Cool. Next is Roger. Roger means that you received your last transmission and you understand it. Just like copy. Copy and Roger go aside with each other. So example of this would be, After you gave me that ace report, I'll say Alpha, this is actual, Roger out. Or copy out. Now affirmative means correct or yes. So if I said, okay, Alpha, this is actual, you said ace report is, or I read back, ace report is green, green, green over, and you'll say actual, this is Alpha, affirmative over, or correct over. You never want to use affirmative as a way of saying that you copy a transmission, or you're copying, or you're going to apply it to a order. It's very redundant and sounds stupid. If I say private cannot pick up that book, affirmative, or you're saying yes, then are you now I'm sitting here confused. Is he going to pick up the book? Or did he say yes, as in, yes, you called me? So I'm going to say again, private cannot pick up that book, affirmative. Now I'm going to keep saying private cannot pick up the book, and you say affirmative still. I'm still not knowing if or not you copy what I said. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. So this segues into another portion. So you can use Roger or copy, or it segues to another portion, as in will co. Will co means that I've received what you just said, and I will comply to the order that was given. So if I say private cannot pick up that book or that laptop, it'll say will co, over or out. Letting me know, hey, I heard what you said, and I will do it. Now, something else. No one to use Roger will co together, because you're saying, I heard what you said, and I understand what you said. Then saying it again, I understand what you said, heard what you said, and I will comply. So you're saying that twice in a row. So for the sake of brevity, and for the fact that these two things mean two completely different things. One just means you copy, the other one means that you're copying your comply. For the sake of those two standpoints, never use them together. They're separate things. It's just something made up in Hollywood. You copy what you get what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. Next is say again. Say again means that you did not understood or you did not receive the other party's transmission, or you're going to retransmit what you just said, and while you're retransmitting what you just said, or you want another person to retransmit what they just said, you're going to say all after or all before. So for example, I said Alpha, this is actual, shift your squad bearing 183 towards that compound for about 150 meters over. If you didn't get what I said, you'll say actual, this is Alpha, say again, over. Or if you heard some parts of it, you'll say actual, this is Alpha, say again, all after grid reference, grid reference, I said X-ray Yankee, over. Then I'll say, and then when I say what I said again, I'll say again, I mean, or I should say, sorry. I would say, Alpha, this is actual, I say again, we reference this and that, this and that. Alright, any confusion? Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
Alright.
Understood.
Never want to use the word repeat in substitution for say again. There's a reason why I said say again and not repeat, and the reason why I said retransmit, not say repeat. It's because repeat is a different procedure word that's specifically used for call for fire. It means used for our artillery fire missions or our mortar fire missions. They're meant to repeat the last fire mission that was sent out to them. So, in a scenario that may happen, if we call out for a fire mission for a fire for effect, or not creeping barrage, but a whatever, but we ask them to put 8 HE rounds in a compound to soften up before we breach it. Fire missions are complete, and we push in that position. Then you say repeat over the radio. They will send those rounds again to the compound. You got friendly elements breaching in there. And then what happens is that a whole platoon gets down or half a platoon gets down inside the compound because 8 HE 82mm mortar rounds just landed right on them. So you want to be careful of using repeat, so you're going to say again. Anyone confused on that?
No, seven.
Okay. However, though, our mortar teams are highly trained to understand orders given to them by the task force commander and all in task force commander alone. So they will never repeat a fire mission set by a PV2. PV2 or PV1. However, though, we do say the word repeat in any official setting in OSUT, you will get hit by any mortars on your position and any other friendlies that are within your same squad. So don't say the word unless you want mortars dropped right on top of you. Next is read back. Read back means resend the entire radio transmission back to me. Can also be used as response to a read back instruction. So, if I said Alpha, this is actual, shift your squad bearing 183 for approximately 250 meters till you reach that compound. Read back, over. Then, Private Connaught, you will say, actual, this is Alpha, I read back. Shift my squad, or my team, bearing 183 for 250 meters till I reach that compound, over. And then I will say, affirmative, out. Or, not yes, actually I won't say yes, I'll say Roger, out. As in, I copy what you just said, you heard what I said, then I'll say out. Any confusion?
No, seven.
Okay. Next is correction. Correction means that I have made an error or a mistake in this transmission or in my last transmission. The transmission will continue with the correct version as follows. So, if you read back the transmission and then said bearing 183 250 meters to this compound, I would say correction. I mean, you say over and I would say Alpha, this is Alpha is actual, correction. Shift your movement bearing 186 for 250 meters to reach that compound, over. Read, or I should say read back over, I'll copy over and you just read it back. Alright, any questions on that?
No, Sergeant.
Alright, you can also use, let me move on with the pro word break. Break symbolizes, in a standpoint, that you need your message is long or you need a pause for a quick second to gather information or send information out. However, you still need control over the net. So this quick pause should be only about 10 seconds. If it's going to be about 30 seconds, then you guys say wait over. Don't hold up the net. Or wait out, whatever. So, times if the message is long, such as if I gotta tell you guys, or so how about this? If I'm Tune HQ to guys send out our sit rep to company HQ, I'll use break within my transmission. Or if I give you guys a long transmission that was sent to me by a platoon, I'll use break. So, squad information is as follows: break. We're going to move at a bearing of 1, 2, 3 towards grid reference break. I'm giving you guys enough time to bring up your map. And I'm going to say grid reference X-ray 183 Yankee 259er towards that set compound on that position break. We are to assault it and clear it out of any enemy elements, and then hold it and defend it from any repelling forces, over. Or and I'll make sure you guys heard what I said. I'll use what pro word if I want to make sure you guys heard what I said, or have you say what I just said. What pro word I would use. Private Connaught. What pro word do I use for a person to say again what I just said?
Read back.
Read back. There you go. All right. Let's break, and then we have next is interrogative. Interrogative means that you're requesting a confirmation or a question. So, whenever you have a question, you're gonna say actual, this is Alpha, interrogative, over. Don't say it with your whole transmission. What I mean by that is, don't say actual, this is Alpha, interrogative, where's our grid location, over. Because then you're not giving enough time to tell you whether or not I have time to answer a question or not. Or preparing me to answer a question or bring up a map or whatever I need to do to answer that question. Or stop what I'm doing. You get what I'm saying, Private Canuck?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. Next is correct. Correct means you are correct and what you have transmitted is correct. Wrong means your last transmission was incorrect, and the correct version is as follows. Never tell a person that what they said when they read back what you told them wrong, and then stop there. Tell them what the correct version is. So, alpha is actual, wrong, break. I say again, the reference is 183256. I'll copy, over. Then you respond by saying, actual, this is Alpha, Roger, reference 182256, whatever I said, over. And lastly, break, break, break. Break, break, break means that you need, this is the emergency traffic that needs to be sent through, and I'm taking control of this network. So sometimes you use break, break, break for if you have seen an armored piece coming up in your position, such as a BMP or BTR, you're going to use break, break, break. So let's say Private Wicks and I have control of the net. Private Canuck, you'll say break, break, break. Actual, this is Alpha, break. BTR burn 156, 200 meters, and coming in fast, over. Any questions with the procedure words that went over today?
Yes,
so far? Alright. Now time for student radio check. So, our frequency should already be established. This is how a radio check begins. And it only follows by this way. So first off, want to always ensure that you include a frequency that you're conducting a radio check on. If you do not, may confuse others on what net you're on. If you say radio check over, then I'm going to transmit over a different radio, say I'll read you 5x5 over or whatever, then you wouldn't have heard me and you'll think that your radio is broken or whatever. So set a frequency that you are transmitting and make sure that you're transmitting the right frequency. You're not, you'll just confuse people. Alright, so this is how a radio check will commence. Fire team leader conducts a radio check with everyone in the fire team. Sometimes fire team members can make the initiative. So to do a radio check, here's an example. You, this is me. Radio check on frequency XXX, over. Those three X's just symbolizes the frequency that is you have to say, okay? So if you're initializing a radio check, you'll say, you, this is me. Radio check on frequency, over. Any questions?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. So this is how it sound like. Sergeant so-and-so, this is Sergeant Smith. Radio check on frequency 100, over. Like that if you're initiating the radio check. Now, if your name was called, then your response would be, Sergeant Smith, this is, I'm sorry, you, this is me. I read you Lima Charlie, loud and clear, 5x5, on frequency 100, over. Example of this would be, Sergeant Smith, this is Sergeant so-and-so. I read you 5x5 on frequency 100, over. Then if you're the one that initiated a radio check, and you were told that he reads you very clearly, then you'll say, Sergeant so-and-so, I'm sorry, you, this is me, Roger, out. Or copy, out. The example of that would be, Sergeant so-and-so, this is Sergeant Smith, copy, out. Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. Now, if we do not know who's on this radio, instead of saying you would say any calling station on this net. This is so-and-so, or me. This is me. Radio check on frequency, over. Any questions on that position as well?
No, Sergeant.
So, any calling station on this net, this is Sergeant Smith. Radio check on frequency 100.1, over. And he responds. Alright. Now it's time for you guys to go and do the demonstration. So go ahead and do it on TeamNet. So you're channel 1. So go ahead and do the radio check. Private Knox, you'll do it Private Wix. And then after that one's done, Private Wix, you'll initiate it with Private Connaught. Not Knox, but Private Connaught. Alright, so Private Connaught, go ahead and initiate it with Private Wix.
Private Wix, this is Private Connaught. Radio check. 100, tech 1. Over.
Private Connaught, this is Private Wix. I read you loud and clear on frequency 100.1.
Missing something? He doesn't know if you're done or not, so what do you gotta say?
Oh, over.
Alright, go ahead, Private Connaught.
Private Wix, this is Private Connaught. Break. Fuck.
Good thing you use break. Break, that's a good thing.
Read you loud and clear.
Oh, no. Oh, you said out. Good. That's good. Disregard what I said. You use loud and clear for once instead of saying Roger. Alright. Private Wix, go ahead and initiate it with Private Connaught.
Private Connaught, this is Private Wix. Radio check on frequency 100.1. Over.
Private Wix, this is Private Connaught. Lima Charlie on 100, tech 1. Over.
Private Connaught, this is Private Wix. Copy. Out.
Excellent job, guys. No mess ups from there. Means everyone's paying attention. Now, it just happens this way where if you do a raid check with that person does a raid check with you. Usually doesn't happen that way. Like I said, usually what happens is that you guys are in a file, and a fire team leader will do his radio check round. So he'll do it to everyone else on the row, or in his file, I should say. So he'll look behind him, and he'll see whoever's behind him, and he'll do his radio check with that person. And when that's done, he'll move on to the next person, so on and so forth. Now, Private Connaught, let's say you're Alpha team lead. Go ahead and do your radio checks on SquadNet. That is 100. Alright, before you do anything, transmit on your additional channel will be your Tango key. So you press your Tango key to transmit on your additional channel without having to switch channels. So go ahead and do that.
Sergeant Smith, this is Private Connaught. Radio check on.
What are the informal call signs you use on radio for SquadNet?
Fuck. Actual.
Yep, and then what is your informal call sign since you're Alpha team lead?
Alpha.
There you go. Go ahead and do it now.
Can I just call you actual?
Yeah, it's just actual. Yeah, you just use those. Yeah, actual, and you refer to yourself as Alpha. Go ahead.
Havoc actual, this is...
No, not Havoc actual. No.
Okay.
Yeah, just actual and Alpha. Don't worry about the Havoc. Yeah, actual and Alpha. There you go.
Alright, let's try this again. Actual, this is Alpha, radio check, frequency 100. Over.
Alpha, this is actual. Read your loud and clear, frequency 100. Over.
Copy. No. Fuck. Actual, this is Alpha. Copy. Out.
Excellent job. Alright, Wix, your Bravo team leader. Go ahead and do your radio check.
Actual, this is Bravo. Radio check on frequency 100.0. Over.
Bravo, this is actual. Read your loud and clear, frequency 100. Over.
Actual, this is Bravo. Copy. Out.
Informal call signs. Private, Sergeant Caldwell, from what Lieutenant Lewis said, and I'm following what Lieutenant Lewis said, and there was no, indifference from what the First Sergeant, has heard me say that multiple times. Alright, now we are to continue. Where are we at? Alright, we're done with radio checks. Continue on with, knowing our basic infantry weapons. Going to go over first off our firing modes and what point area fire is, point target, and area target is. So give me a second. If you guys need to grab yourself a cup of water, if your water ran out or whatever, go ahead and do so now. Got about 1 minute. You're back. Let me know you're back.
I am. This is gonna. I'm going to get something to drink.
Copy. Are you talking about Carl? Are you talking about the actual and Alpha and Bravo, or are you talking about Havoc? Havoc's a call sign. Actual and Alpha and Bravo, those are calling stations. Maybe Pacific call well. I don't know what you're talking about. But Havoc is a call sign, and actual Alpha and Bravo, those are calling stations.
Don't know, I'm back.
Alright. Alright, Wix, you here?
Now, quick question, Sergeant.
Go ahead.
For a squad, like, for your fire team, would you have to go down the line and say people's ranks and whatnot, or can you just
Just
say,
their name.
like, okay.
Yep. So you'll say if you're Alpha team, still on Alpha on your own team, you still gotta refer to yourself as Alpha, but everyone else you just call them by their name. So if your Alpha team leader and Private Wix was in your team, then you'll say, Private Wix, this is Alpha. Your check on frequency 100.1 over, and then you'll respond back to that. If that was your fire team, and you done your checks with Private Wix, you'll still keep that conversation. You'll say, Smith, this is Alpha, we're check frequency 100.1. So you can just go down the whole line until you've done your checks with everyone.
Roger.
Yep. Alright, Wix, are you there? And you anyways. Alright, so firing mode, semi-automatic and automatic firing mode. Some weapon systems allow you to use, some weapon systems have two of these firing modes, just semi-automatic and automatic. Some may have three. Now, but we're gonna go over what semi-automatic and automatic fire mode is. Semi-automatic allows you to fire one round when you pull and hold on to your trigger. So when you pull and hold on to your trigger, only one round will release from the chamber. If you're on automatic firing mode, when you pull and hold on to the trigger, all the rounds in that magazine will release through the chamber and out the chamber until you're out of ammunition or rounds in that magazine. Any questions on the difference between semi-automatic and automatic fire mode?
No, Sergeant.
All right. Now we'll continue. Point fire is fire directed at one point. So if we're gonna use something here as example, so you can understand what I'm saying. I told you and Private or everyone in the squad with this. Everyone in the squad to engage that screen. You're doing point fire. You're shooting at one single thing. So for example, the entire team or squad fires at one bunker or at one screen. Or at a squad, you guys engaging with point fire. Area fire is type of fire that covers an area laterally and in depth. So if a squad, so if I tell you guys to fire on a wet line, I will shoot tracers towards that wet line. And I'll mark the center of the target, or center of what I want you to shoot at. So whoever's on my left and whoever's on my right will shoot to the left or to the right of where my tracers are at, or from where I pointed. We can say I pointed to as well. So I understand the difference between point fire and area fire.
Yep.
Do you get it, Private Cannot?
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay. Alright. And point target is one single target. So that bunker is still your single target. Infantryman is a single target. Whenever you engage your point targets, this is what you're going to expect where your rounds may how about this? If they're within your effective, actually let me go over weapon systems and I'll explain it more perfectly when you see that. So let me move on towards M4A1. Alright. let's go over the grenade weapons, and now explain to you guys what point target and area target is. First off, the M4A1. And then I'll go over sights after I go over the weapon systems. So first off, the first M4A1 is a issued weapon for the U.S. Army and is lightweight, gas-operated, air-cooled, magazine-fed, shoulder-fired weapon. It can be fired in either both the automatic or semi-automatic firing mode. It only has 2 of those modes. Its maximum effective range on point targets is 500 meters. Maximum effective range on area targets is 600 meters. So, if you're engaging a target 500 meters or less at one single target, then 500 meters or less, that will be considered as a point target, and your rounds will hit effectively where you're aiming towards the target at. Now, if you're still engaging one single target, and the target is beyond 500 meters, it's no longer a point target, it's an area target. Because beyond your effective engagement range, no longer will your rounds accurately hit where you're aiming towards, or where your crosses are landing at on that target. So he's considered an area target now because he's not in your effective range. However, though, you're still engaging with point fire because you're still shooting at one specific thing. You guys get what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. Now, you can also include an area target as a squad. If you're only engaging a squad and not shooting at a specific thing, so if you're on automatic fire mode and you're just spraying at that squad, then you're engaging with area target. So you're shooting at multiple things within that squad. So multiple infantry. And you can hit them effectively but not accurately at 600 meters. So if you're engaging a squad 600 meters, your rounds with somewhere around that squad. I advise you shooting in direct center of that squad, so the rounds might hit on the left or right of that and might hit somebody. Alright. To be a little more specific, from 500 meters, or from the actual effective range, from where the detail about point target, is where you're expecting your rounds to actually 90% of the time hit where you're landing it on. So I mean, if you put the crosshairs on the body mass of the target, at 500 meters, you land at 500 horizontal line on that target, and your rounds hit right somewhere dead center of that intersection of that reticule. However, though, if it's 600 meters or higher, or if you're using gauge a target from your effective range on area target, so 600 meters for the M4, or in other words, shooting beyond 500 meters, then your rounds will most likely not hit exactly at that direct center or at that intersection. They'll hit somewhere around that, either above, left, right, below, because you got to take into factors of wind and the speed of the bullet. Not speed of the bullet, but the velocity of the bullet. The bullet may drop a little bit lower this time, or the wind may shift a little more to the left or right, or a little higher, a little lower, or make it travel a little more faster, make it even more accurate. If you're shooting, the wind's working with you, is behind you, it's going from behind you to in front of you, then it actually will carry your rounds out towards where you need to hit. But those are factors that may happen. For 500 meters, the wind and other factors cannot affect mostly where the bullet is going. Travel the bullet. In of course, the M4A1. Alright. Next is the M320 grenade launcher. M320 grenade launcher is a lightweight 40mm grenade launcher that can operate in a standalone or attached configuration. Let me show you the slide of this real quick. So that means that you can either have it attached to this M4 as you can see right now, or you can have a standalone version of it. Now it is a compact breech loading single shot 40mm grenade launcher. Its maximum effective range for the 320 on air targets 350 meters. The reason why there's only one for area targets because all grenades has a 360 dispersal radius. It does not disperse at a specific thing. What I'm saying here is that when you launch that 320 grenade round out to a certain position, it's gonna hit whatever is near that grenade. So there's no need for you to know what is its engagement range on point targets because it will still hit whatever else is surrounded by it. You guys get what I'm saying? Okay. So if I toss a grenade right now, we'll all go down. Not just Private Kanai. If I threw it at Private Kanai, I'll still go down, and Private Wicks will still go down. Next is the M249 automatic rifle. The M249 machine gun is a gas-operated, air-cooled, belt or magazine-fed automatic weapon, which fires from the open bolt position. Now get this. It has maximum rate of fire of 850 rounds per minute. Say again, 850 rounds per minute. So, you guys want to keep in mind that the ammunition feeds to this weapon from a 200 round ammunition box containing a disintegrating metallic split link belt. You only can carry a 200 round box put into it, but it fires 850 rounds per minute. Try to do the math. Within 1/4 of a minute, which would be somewhat 15 seconds or 16 seconds, you've already used up 200 rounds. You already used up your 200 round box. If you just hold on to a trigger and laid waste, you already used up the whole box within 16 seconds. I'm trying to say to you here, you guys, is about ammo conservation. You're only allowed 1,000 rounds all in total within the squad. If you shoot through rounds like that, then most likely your whole team, not your whole team, but you will be black on rounds on one of the most effective and best weapon systems that we have at our disposal in a rifle squad. Because you as an AR lay down more rounds with a more of a faster rate of fire than anyone else can down the line within your squad. Except for the other AR and the other fire team. So don't waste the rounds like that. So there's something called burst fire. And we'll go over that during we go over our rates of fire. When you're doing burst fire, you're going to do 3 to 5 round bursts every time you pull and release the trigger. Now, only in emergencies do we allow M249 gunners to use the 20 or 30 Stenec, 30 round Stenec magazines for the M249 if they're running magazines. But it's only in a worst case scenario because of increases shortages or stoppages when having to keep reloading. Because now you don't have 200 round blocks, you have 20 round magazines. So within 5 seconds, you're black on ammo if you just pull and hold on to that trigger. So, want to conserve your ammo so you don't worry about having to keep reloading every single 20 seconds, 10 seconds or whatever. You guys understand me?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. On to M240 Bravo. Actually, let me not move on too quick ahead of myself. I need to give you guys I almost forgot to give you guys actual effective range on an area target with the M249. Did I give that to you guys or no?
No, Sergeant.
I don't have it.
Okay.
Could you repeat it?
Don't say repeat. What word do you say instead of repeat?
Say it again.
There you go. Alright. The effective range on area targets with M249 is 800 meters. I need to say that again. Good. Any questions with there only being a rate of effective range on area targets and not point targets?
No, Sergeant.
No? Okay. Just a reminder, if you guys do not know, is that there's only effective range on area targets and there's none for point target as well. It's because that this weapon system is not designed to shoot at one single target. It's designed to shoot at multiple targets. In addition, as well, it's not always accurate when engaging targets. Most of the time, it will miss. Not miss, but I should say, rounds will not hit exactly where you're hitting or engaging. And if you notice, the MGO sight that is now just a quick question that later on probably could not, but MGO sight that is attached to the M249 does not have any intersections at ranges. It actually has a opening for those intersections because it's telling you somewhere around this circle is where your rounds will hit. So, as a result, we don't know where it's going to land at, so there's no need to have a point range. All there is the area, not point range, but an area, a maximum engagement range on area targets, because that's the furthest your rounds will actually somewhere hit within that circle of that site. Your question, Private Canuck.
What's area?
Make sure you say thank you, Sergeant. So go ahead.
Thank you, Sergeant. For the M320, what's the effective range again?
M320?
Yes, Sergeant.
Effective range on M320 is 350 meters.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Mm-hmm. On area targets. Okay. Nothing else, we move on to the M240 Bravo medium machine gun. M240 Bravo is a belt-fed, air-cooled, gas-operated, fully automatic machine gun that fires from the open bolt position. Now, the ammunition fed into the weapon is from a 100-round bandolier containing disintegrating metallic split-link belt. Now, the gas from one round provides enough energy for firing the next round, like a continuous train. Now, you still want to use burst fire with M240 Bravo. You cannot this time reload M240 Bravo with any 20 or 30 static magazines onto it, as that will not be compatible for it. So if you run out of magazines, you're out of luck. Now, maximum engagement range is 1,000 meters on area targets. I'm gonna make sure I say that. Any questions with M240 Bravo?
Yes, Sergeant.
All right. We'll move on towards our shorter launch munitions. First off is M136A24. It is a lightweight, self-contained, shorter launch munition designed for use against the improved armor of light armored vehicles. Provides lethal fire against light armored vehicles and has great effect on most soft vehicles, or sorry, soft trucks, but light armored, and a little bit somewhat of effect on medium armored vehicles such as BMPs. With that said, though, you're going to reserve your AT4 on BMPs than on BTRs, and I'll explain to you that reasoning on it at throughout when I move on towards our next sort of launch munition. An AT4 is a disposable, and is only a single shot recurless weapon. What that means is that one-time use only. As soon as you launch a rocket to engage any armor piece you may encounter, whether that be a miss or a good hit, you no longer can use the rocket anymore. It is not reloadable. So after it's done, you drop it on the ground. So after you use it, put it on the ground, continue on with your life. Now, it has maximum range in real life of 2,100 meters, but number 3's maximum effective range is 300 meters. Any questions?
None, Sergeant.
Alright. Now, significantly, what I want to point out as well is what I'm going over next is the M72 Law. M270, the M72 series, that these have light is designed to engage light anti. Well, it's called light anti-tank weapon, but it's used to engage light armored vehicles. And these vehicles such as BTRs, BRDMs, gun trucks, those are the armored vehicles you want to engage with the Law, because it does not really have that much of a good impact on BMPs. If you don't believe me, when you go into the battlefield and you use a Law to engage your BMP, you'll notice that it did nothing to it. All it did was disable a turret or just hit a little soft part of it. So what I'm saying there, with that said, you want to reserve your AT4 most times for BMPs. However, though, use those rockets on BMPs or BTRs, the Law or the AT4. Whoever poses the greatest threat first to you, that's what you want to engage with your rocket. Now, in addition, and you'll learn this in day 3, but you can also engage BTRs with your 320. So if you need to use your Law to kill a BMP, and go ahead and use your 320 for that BTR that's nearby. I mean by 320, I mean the HE DP rounds for the 320. Any questions with set 4?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. Before I forget though, the caliber for the size, the caliber of the M13684 is 84 millimeters, and the caliber for the M72 Law is 66 millimeters, or 66. All right. Next is and by the way, the Law is a little brother of the 84. The 84 was more designed to go against the improved armor pieces out there. And move on towards the M3 Maz Carl Gustav, and if you guys didn't know, the Maz means multi-role anti-armor anti-tank weapon system, or MAAWS Maz. Carl Gustav is also 84 millimeter caliber weapon, shorter launch munition weapon system. However, though, it packs bigger punch, which means that its diameter is a little bit more thicker, penetrate the main battle tanks that we go against. So the Carl Gustav is designed to engage any armored pieces that comes from light to heavy armored pieces, so engage any of the main battle tanks that comes its way. Versus our 84s that we create in a rifle squad or a Law cannot engage tanks. They only engage BTRs, BMPs. So, to continue, it is capable of employing a vast array of ammunition for use against any armor target that comes against this way. It can engage any target out there up to 1,000 meters. But its effective range is 900. Effective engagement range is 900 meters. So it can engage targets up to 1,000 meters. Any questions on the Carl Gustav?
No, Sergeant.
All right. Next is the Javelin. Javelin is a man-portable anti-tank weapon system, or I like to call it Close Combat Missile System, or CMS, or CCMS, I should say. Close Combat Missile System. I don't know why I said CMS, but CCMS. Now, Javelin is a fire-forget, shoulder-fired, man-portable. Once again, CCMS consists of a reusable clue or command launch unit with a round that basically destroys any target that you see. Javelin CCMS's primary role is to destroy any enemy target or vehicle that comes against its way out to 2,000 meters. It has a 127 millimeter caliber round that destroys any tank that it hits. It also has you also are capable of engaging targets with just the sights without the clue, to be able to hit them. Sorry, I'm reading something from chat, but let's say you could not detach clue, but you could also fire without using the top-down launch. You could just use a launch where you can aim at where you're shooting at, and you'll engage it from there. You guys get what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
So basically, like aiming down sights. So instead of locking onto your target and using top down, you could actually aim at the sights and have the rocket actually launch to where you're pointing at. All right. Now, to actually engage targets, you have to actually make sure you're on the thermal configuration of the clue. When you're on the thermal optics, then you'll press your T key to lock on, or tab is either 1 to 2. And once it's locked on, then you're gonna launch the rocket. What happens is that the rocket will go about a few feet in front of your face, about 30 feet, and then that's when the main engine of the rocket burns on. It takes off. Goes straight up to the air about in a 45-degree angle to where you no longer see it anymore. Within seconds, it'll aim from top down right into the armor piece that you're trying to engage, smushing it to a pancake, exploding any ammunition that was inside of that tank or armor piece, making it go catastrophic and killing the crew inside of it, which makes the Javelin one of the most effective weapon systems that we have at our disposal. Any questions on all the shorter launch munitions that we went over?
No, Sergeant.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't show you pictures of all of them, but let's continue on with our optics. Alright, first off is the RCO. Give me a second so I can show you that. You guys go ahead and get out your seat if you want to see this a little bit better, if you guys can't see the lines very well. So you can stand up, scroll will stand up, you need to come up here to the screen to see it. Alright, so the RCO, or Rifle Combat Optic, is one of the design weapon optics that we have here. It allows us to range out to targets greater than 300 meters. So it allows us to gauge our targets further away. Now with these rifle optics, it's not really ideal for close combat, close quarter combat. However, though, you have to always look down your optics to kill targets closer to you. You can use your lasers or hip fire for the best. But to continue, with the RCO, the current version that you see right now is the M150 RCO, or looking down the side picture, the M150 RCO, or just an ACOG. And it has a bullet drop compensation and ranging capabilities. What you can see are horizontal lines with 4, 6, and 8 on it. Now the red of it shows you the effective range of this web system. So as you can see, the red line goes all the way down to 5. That bright red. Then the dark red touches 5 all the way down to 6. That lets you know that greater than 500 meters down to 600 meters is effective range in area targets. And then up from 500 meters and lower on that bright red is effective range on point targets. Everyone get what I'm saying to you and what you see from there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this RCO, you see the side picture you see right now, also allows you to get the range on a target. Because I don't know about you guys, but do you want to try to pull out your binos to get a range on target that's currently engaging you? So basically disarming yourself to get a range on it. Do you want to do that or no? Yes or no?
Again, sir.
Do you want to pull out your binos to engage a target that's currently engaging you because you're trying to figure out the range of that target? Yes or no? Is that something you want to do?
Yes, Sergeant.
No. I don't want to do that either. I'm going to get myself shot at just trying to get a range on it. Because as a result, good for you to learn how to use these ranging capabilities that this RCO has. So to do so, is that what you need to do is that you need to rest the horizontal lines that you see there. So let's pick the horizontal line with 6 on it. So that's 600 meters. If you rest that on the shoulders of an average military male, if that line hits exactly of the width of the shoulders, that military male, then that is the range of that target. That means he's within 600 meters. If the shoulders are too small for that line, or the line's too big, then the target is a little bit more further away. So bring up your optic. Let's try 700 meters. The line between 6 and 8. Still too small or a little small? Let's try 8. If it fits 8, then good. If it doesn't fit 8, then mouse out and engage it. Call for mortars to call for a mortar strike on that. Or mark it on the Android so that we can find someone else to engage if it's too far for us to engage. Shouldn't be engaging anyways if it's 800 meters away. Alright, any questions?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright, let's continue on with the CCO, Close Combat Optic. Use these for close combat battles. Close quarters battles, CC. And these situations may happen if you look at your op order and your op order details that we're clearing out a town. And we're not expecting any close long range combat, then people will carry the CCO instead of the RCO. Because you cannot carry 2 optics. You only carry 1 optic, and that is the one that is attached to your weapon system. I want to say there's different variants of CCOs such as red dots, reflexive sights, the EOTech, those many different holographic sights, many different variants of a CCO that you can use at your disposal. The EOTech allows you to range out targets up to 300 meters. It actually gives you capability of ranging. Go ahead and do your own research on how to range, how to get the ranging of a target with the the EOTech. Excuse me. But however, though, if you like your RCO but you wanted to carry a CCO as well, because you know that the mission there will be mounts you could be involved for that mission when you read the op order, and do yourself a favor and grab the optic that has a CCO with, it has an RCO with an attached CCO on top of it. I don't know the name of it, but you'll find it. and you can use that. That way, you can always have your RCO and attached TCO on top of that optic. Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. Next is the MGO. MGO is a machine gun optic designed basically for the machine gun. Has ranging capabilities just as the RCO. Let me show you a picture of that before we continue. Any questions with all the optics we went over?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. Move on to our organic munitions. These are smokes and frag grenades and all the goodies of that. I can get it. And that's the optics of the EOTech right there. Alright. First, let's go over just first off, just our general understanding of grenades. So, hand grenade is a handheld, hand-armed, and hand-thrown weapon. Us in the U.S. forces use both lethal and non-lethal grenades, as well as colored or white smokes for screening movements. We can use it for signaling and marking positions and landing zones. The average soldier can throw a grenade up to 35 meters, 35 meters. Therefore, they are designed to have a small blast radius and are fused to have a 3 to 5 second delay so they can be safely deployed or employed. Now, first off, I'm going to go over the M67 fragmentation grenade, which is what you see on the screen right now. M67 fragmentation grenade is a type grenade consisting of a pre-fragmented steel body filled with 6.5 ounces of composition B explosive. It is intended to be used in an offensive capacity and has a killing radius of 15 meters. So if you're within 15 meters of this grenade, you will get killed. However, though in Arma 3 that doesn't usually happen. You just get heavily wounded, and it takes a little bit longer for the medic to get you back up. And it has a fragmentation disposal radius of 230 meters. So if you're not behind cover and 200 meters away from that grenade, sometimes the fragmentation may somehow get up 230 meters and get to you and hit you and wound you. So always seek cover when a grenade's been thrown. Any questions with fragmentation grenade?
No, Sergeant.
Cool. We'll continue with the M84 flashbang stun grenade, or also we have the M18 stun grenade. Sorry, M80. We'll just don't worry about it. M84 stun grenades and ones you guys should be using anyways. But the M84 stun grenade is a diversion device used for building a room clearing operation. So when the mission details that we're performing mount, CQB, or coin operations into a town, counterinsurgency, clearing out a town. Somewhere it says near clearing out a town. You know, the civilians in the town, or a hostage rescue, or whatever this mission says on there within those keywords that's sent to you. They want to make sure you have some flashbangs and or sometimes extra flashbangs at your disposal. Now it is employed when non-combatants are likely expected, or actually expected, and we, as the assaulting element or the breaching element, is trying to achieve the ultimate element of surprise. So at all times, even if the enemy knows we're here and they already heard us shooting, they don't know when the exact time we're breaching their room or breaching the building they're in. When we pop that flashbang, even though they know we're at that door, the flashbang catches them by surprise. They couldn't react. They can't. They didn't have enough time to shield their eyes, so now they're disorientated. The flashbang basically explodes, delivers a loud bang in that room, and it combines with a bright flash, and it's designed to basically temporarily blind them, or blind the occupant. It will deafen the room occupant, and it will disorientate whoever's in there that got affected by that flashbang for as long as 15 seconds. However, though, in Arma 3, the AI, 50% of the time, will not get affected by a flashbang. It has to be within their cone of vision. If it's not within their cone of vision, they don't get disorientated. So, when you breach a room, after you pop a flashbang, you breach it, go in there assuming that you didn't throw a flashbang in that room. So, go in there prepared that AI is probably not disorientated. However, though, the flashbang is 110% effective on us. If you throw a flashbang by mistake, it will blind us for a long time. If you throw a flashbang on a corner, 60% of the time it will flash us even though it's in the room and not nowhere in our corner vision. Sometimes it will actually blind us as well. Those are things you guys gotta be careful with the flashbang most of the time. Does everyone understand me?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. We have a slide for the colored smokes, but we'll continue on with the colored smokes. First off is white and yellow smoke. Actually, give me 30 seconds. Let me give me some drink real quick, guys. Stand by. Take this as your little 30-second break. I'll be right back, guys. I gave me some drink. Are we all back?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So if we continue, yellow and white smoke. Yes, I do. Alright, so yellow white smoke is meant for concealment. It signals concealment for us to know when we see it get popped up. But you're going to use yellow white smoke when you need to conceal yourself. Do we know what concealment means versus cover?
Concealment is pretty much like hiding, breaking line of sight of the enemy.
Yep, somewhat. Concealment means, or I should say, concealment prevents the enemy from seeing you, but does not stop bullets. Cover stops bullets and conceals the enemy from seeing you, or prevents the enemy from seeing you. So although you pop smoke, the enemy can still spray through that smoke and try to take you out. But like I said, white smoke or yellow smoke is meant to use to mark concealment. Now, the reason why we only mainly carry yellow smoke is one of our priorities of carrying. It's because, if you guys haven't noticed, the enemy carries white smoke. And they pop white smoke for their concealment. So, if friendly's trying to figure out who is this across this tree line, and we see white smoke popped, oh, but yeah, that's the enemy right there. And we're going to tell everyone else, go ahead and shoot where everything you see at that white smoke that just shot at us. And if that was actually you guys maneuvering the enemies, and you pop white smoke, now we can't tell who's enemy, who's friendly, we're going to end up killing you guys, even though that never happened, because we always will call out where the target's at, and we'll know if there's a friendly element in front of us, and we'll shift our fire, but stuff like that is a precaution.
So yellow smoke is concealment for us?
Yellow and white is concealment. You could carry white if you want to as well, but I was just saying that's the reason why we usually like to carry yellow smoke more over the white smoke. Alright. Now you can pop this yellow smoke to conceal yourself, to maneuver on the enemy, to fall back, to banish yourself, drag a friendly behind cover. So if a friendly gets shot, let's say Private Wicks, you get shot. Private cannot. Do not just go out there and drag Private Wicks behind cover. Pop smoke, then drag him behind cover, so that he can be banished by the medic behind cover. Those things you guys want to think about. Now to continue, next is blue smoke. Blue smoke's meant to signify a broken chain of command. So that means that if you're team leader, broken chain of command, and you do not have no way of communicating a person above you. So your 5 team leader is down, and you can't communicate to your squad leader, pop blue smoke. Because if your radio's not working, your squad leader can hear you, pop blue smoke. That way you can know, alright, it's a broken chain of command over here. And if a friendly element seeing that blue smoke, they'll move towards it. If your 5 team leaders down, squad leaders down, still pop blue smoke, so another squad will come up to your position. Overall, though, blue smoke means broken chain of command, no way of communicating above your COC. So that means then you'll pop blue smoke, and then squads will come to rescue you or go to your position and try to reestablish that chain of command on your position. Excuse me. Sometimes you want to make sure you call out wherever not if that was a bad blue smoke, because what happens is that if you pop blue smoke and you're being overrun, but you're able to handle the context you're getting engaged by, pop that blue smoke, you end up having medics coming to your position along with a friendly squad coming up on you, and they might come from a direction where the enemies are at, and they might walk up onto enemy fire and get themselves down. Now we have a mass cast that location and a broken chain of command on this position. So be careful with your blue smokes. Call out if you're using it for concealment or if it was a bad blue smoke. Everyone understand me?
Yes, Sergeant.
Basically, every smoke besides yellow was tossed by mistake and meant for something other than what it's meant for, call that out. Next is red smoke. Red smoke is meant to mark enemy location. Now remember, keep in mind that you only allowed to throw smokes. I mean, you can only, your most capable ability as a human to throw smokes up to 35 meters. Trying to keep immersion free for you guys, but 35 meters out there. So if enemies within 35 meters, you pop that red smoke, you might as well just shoot at him. Your rounds hurt more from 35 meters than if he was 300 meters from you. So go ahead and kill him. But if he's behind cover, and you believe it's safe enough for you to pop that red smoke, then throw it. We also like to throw red smoke on positions of enemy mortars. Not mortars, sorry. If the mortars are over a wall, then we'll pop red smoke over that wall. If you get infantry squad behind a house building, we'll pop red smoke over that wall. If we see a armored piece, we'll pop red smoke on the armored piece. Or if they're in the compound, we'll pop it over the wall. So that our air assist will know the position of that armored piece. Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
Yeah, we'll continue on to the next portion. What was that? Red smoke. Green smoke. Wait, first I want to point out though, you can't carry red smoke rounds for your 320 or 203. So you could use those to pop it out on infantry squads that are 300 meters away. You can pop red smoke out 300 meters away with the 320. Spark them. We'll continue on to green smoke. Green smoke is meant to mark friendly positions and landing zones. You'll use those to basically mark those two things if you need to. Now, if we're having a danger close gun run, such as if we call in Thunder or the A-10 for close air support, as danger close on enemy positions, then we'll tell you guys pop green smoke. If you're told to pop green smoke, then you might want to stay. You might want to stop moving and stay where you're at. If you continue to move, and our pilot sees something running away from that green smoke, then they'll think that is enemy. They'll engage you, and you're gonna get blue and blued. So stay where you're at if you're told green smoke. If you're told to pop green smoke, or if you see green smoke being popped. Now, we're running well with that green smoke is meant to mark the landing zone. You'll know if it's a landing zone if you see on your micro dagger, and it will be told to you that, hey, grid reference this and that, and blue first marker this and that is the landing zone. So you'll know if you're on top of landing zone by looking at your macro dagger. Next is orange smoke. Orange smoke is meant to mark an explosive. So if an explosive has been set in an area, or you found an explosive, you'll pop an orange smoke on that position to let other friendlies know, hey, explosive set over here. We also use red spray paint to mark the danger position of that explosive, and put another red spray paint 35 meters from that explosive to dictate where the safe location is at. Any questions?
That's open.
Last smoke color is purple. Purple is used to mark a mass cast. Purple smoke is only carried by medics. Medics are only ones who actually dignify what is a mass casualty or not. So purple smoke will be popped on a mass casualty collection point where all the down guys are at. And what happens is that medics will be running to that position to basically try to get those guys who are down back up. But if you see purple smoke being popped on your position, nearby your position, they'll run to and try to help the medic. Their more priority should be to get up security. But if you see the medic is by himself and there's a whole bunch of other infantrymen near you who aren't medics, then you can ask the medic, hey, if you need help. But if you're not CLS, that shouldn't be your priority. If you're not CLS, your priority should be get security up. But if you're a CLS, then go ahead and ask the medic if he needs help. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Alright, that includes all the smokes. Lastly, it's demolition blocks. This is how you set down the demolition block and then set it off. So follow through my instructions. First off, you're going to press Control Windows. That is your self-interaction key. Then you're going to hover over Explosive. You're going to hover over M112 Demolition Block. Then Release. A menu will pop up on your screen telling you whether or not you want to place the mission block, rotate it, or cancel. You're going to left click to place it, scroll wheel, rotate it, but you'll see that menu on your option. We're going to place it where we want to place it. Then we're not done yet. We're going to actually set it to our clicker. So you're going to look at the demolition block and then press your Windows key, hover over it, You'll just see interactions. Hover interactions, hover over set detonator. I think that's what it says. And then you're going to set detonator to the M57 firing device. And then release. Then, we're ready to set that demolition off. After you put red spray paint on it and put a smoke on it, orange smoke on it. Then set it off. We're going to press control windows. Explosive. Detonate. And then either detonate all or detonate 1, 2, 3, whatever detonate code is. So you want to keep in mind on when you put detonate that on that. So if I told you to detonate the helicopters and the mortar pit was the first thing you put demolition on, and I told you to detonate the helicopters, but the helicopter's second thing we detonate, then detonate code 2 is what you wanted to set off. Because the helicopters was the second thing you put demolition blocks on, so that should be your code 2. So remember what you put demolition on, and remember that was the second one, first one, whatever. So jot that down on a piece of note paper. Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. That concludes everything else. Let's go ahead and go outside. Go ahead and stand up. Scroll will stand up. Alright, go ahead and follow me. Out here, go ahead and don't worry about putting your soft cover back on. We're going straight to the supply sergeant to get kitted out. Alright, whenever you guys are given, I said don't worry about putting soft covers on. Just keep coming over here. Come. Don't worry about putting it on.
Sorry, I dropped that.
Problem? Alright, come over here to the arsenal box right here. This arsenal box right here. Double arsenal. Go ahead and go into it. From now on, henceforth, whenever you guys are given the go ahead to load out an OSUT, you're gonna come in here to see the supply sergeant. Go straight to this Onyx box. Go to the arsenal and select your billet. So billet you guys gonna get is rifleman. So you guys are assigned rifleman. Go ahead and grab a rifleman loadout. Not too many probably could not. Rifleman. There you go.
Zero to put your it's 0 to put your weapon away, right?
Yep. And then once your loadout is grabbed, then you're gonna go ahead and move over here to the cargo net box and grab yourself a Vector 2-1 Knight and a radio, ANPRC 152. When both has been grabbed, you're gonna back off about 2 feet away from, or sorry, 2 meters away from that box. I'm gonna go into your inventory and stow away any magazines to put into your vest or backpack, and put away your NVGs to your vest or backpack if it's on your helmet, if it's daytime. You're gonna do that whenever you're loading into any info server for training or whatever else as well. So if you're filling in for squad training, you're gonna load in. You should see some cargo net boxes and Calnex box right in front of you, about 10 feet meters or so in front of you when you load in, or behind you. Just look around you. And go to that Calnex box first, grab your loadout and relevant to your billet. Then you're gonna go over to the cargo net box, grab some Vector 2-1 Knight and radio. Then you're gonna go and stow away your magazine out of your rifle if you're in a training environment. And then lastly, you're gonna press your 7 key. That cycles through your non-lethal grenades. This way, you guys don't have your frag grenades on you and actually throwing your frag grenade by mistake. When all that's done, go ahead and follow me over here to staging area. Outside. I went left outside of the door.
Alright. Right.
Okay, Private Canuck?
Yeah.
Alright. Go ahead and form a just line up one behind the other. That'll be a file. Doesn't matter. Some in the front, some in the rear. There you go. Go ahead and kneel. Alright. After you grab your loadout, one behind the other, Private Wick. So behind Private Canuck or in front of him, doesn't matter. Once you grab your loadout, and you went to grab everything you got, set, did that magazines, your backpack, selected your, make sure you have your smoke selected, not your frag selected, everything else like that. You're gonna move to the staging area. This is for OSUT and for training environments you're gonna be in when you fill in. You do exactly this. Get in that station area in respect to the squad. That this would be Alpha, and then Bravo would be on the right of Alpha. The squad leader would be in front of you guys, with the medic beside Alpha on the left side. Any confusion?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. Go ahead and stand up. Let's go straight towards the flag. Let me know if you guys see the flag. Come over here. You see where it says Weapons Range Complex?
Yep.
Yep.
Teleport there.
Yep, teleport there. Weapons Range Complex. Go ahead and do so now. You're going to follow me over here? Wait. Oh, he's here. Okay.
There we go.
Alright, pick an indentation on my left and on my right. So over here. One on my left, one on my right. Over here, probably. See a little closer to me. Alright, now we'll go over throwing our grenades. But first off, press the escape key. Escape, configure, controls. Under the drop-down menu for show, you're going to go to weapons. No, I'm sorry, not weapons, common. I was right, weapons. I don't know what's wrong with me. But weapons, and then halfway through weapons, you see where it says throw. Let me know when you see that. The action of throw.
I see it.
I already unbound it from last time.
Copy. You guys hear some besides me or no?
What do you mean?
Okay, weird, because I'm continuously transmitting for some reason. I don't know why. Whatever. Alright. We'll continue though anyways. Nonetheless. Bizarre. No, whatever. Alright, throw. We're going to select throw. You're going to delete that keybind for throw. So go ahead and do so. Once you're done that, let me know. Delete the keybind for throw. Press OK. Then you're going to go to configure add-ons. That selected menu on the left of OK. Click configure add-ons. Down to the drop-down menu for add-ons, you're going to go to Ace Weapons. You got to scroll down all the way down to the bottom. Let me know once you're there. You see prepare, change, throwable. Do you see that? Yes or no?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. You're going to select that. And then you're going to change that keybind to G. Or whatever your preferred. Yep. Okay, cool.
It's G, but yeah.
Alright. Now it gives you the option to arch your grenade without throwing a bat frag. Alright. Now move on to throwing frags. First off, let's go some procedure words. First is frag out. Frag out means that you're throwing a frag. If you're, make sure on yelling, you can yell out frag out and then wait a quick second before you throw the frag. Now, if you hear someone say frag out, it's your job to as well echo that out so that everyone else will know that there's a friendly frag being thrown. Yes?
How do you change the speak volume again?
Control tap. Alright. Next is frag. Frag means that you see the frag being thrown or you see a frag on the floor. You don't know if that's friendly or enemy, so you're just going to yell out frag. And then you're going to run the opposite direction of that frag. The reason you want to do that is because you want to make sure let everyone else know where the frag is not at. So you run away from the frag, everyone else will know, okay, let's run over here where that guy's running toward. Any confusion?
No, Sergeant.
Alright. The next is bad frag. Bad frag means that you're throwing a frag by mistake, or you're unsure what it was that you're throwing, but you're going to yell out bad frag so that everyone else can be safe as a precaution or safety precaution. Don't be the one that threw a bad frag, then want to call it out, end up having people go down. I'll tell you this, one thing that, hope you guys get the common sense of this. You're scared to get in trouble, so you want to call out bad frag, people go down. And 99% of the time, we always figure out who it is, because all of us stream, and all of us record, and all of us know who threw the frag by mistake. Versus throwing a frag, saying bad frag, admitting to it, now you're just being informal counsel, which means it's going on your records, being told don't do that again. Versus throwing a frag, then it called out, people go get wounded, some people get KIA'd from that. Get court-martialed for that, and officially counseled for that. And that court-martial, but no, actually get court-martialed is that NJP from that point. Because you killed somebody. So those are things, that's why you want to call out bad frags. Everyone get the justification, the consequences of what actually happens if you don't call it out. And which one's much greater than the other one. Everyone understand me? What I'm saying from that point?
Understood.
Or what I'm trying to say? Alright.
Understood.
Alright, next is... What's that? What I want to say? Oh, that's all of them. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a demonstration of it. Now, cycle through your non-lethal grenades is 7. You press the 7 key above your Yankee uniform key that cycles through your non-lethal grenades. Press the 6 key, 6 key, which is above your Tango and Yankee key, cycles through all your lethal grenades. So your flashbang and your stun grenade. Don't ask me about your flashbangs under there. Alright, so I want to get ready to frag these guys behind his rock wall. It's popping red smoke, but I just want to kill them. So, I'm going to go ahead and throw my frag. So what word I'm going to say before I throw my frag?
Frag out.
Frag out.
Alright. Say frag out. Press G. Then I'm see where my frag's going to go. Then I'm going to throw it. Alright, so time for me to go ahead. I'm going to simulate. No one throw your frag. I'm going to simulate it. Alright, frag out.
Frag out.
Or cannot make sure you say frag out. Yep. And then you're going to hit the deck. Alright, recover. Alright, something I want to point out for you guys as well. If there's no, whenever your frag's been thrown, make sure that you adjust yourself according to the cover. So the cover does not conceal you when you're crouching like this. You guys press, put my weapon out. You press Control S. It allows you to cover your head at this level right here. See what I'm doing? Like this. So just how the cover will cover your head as best as possible. That's what you want to do. There's no cover in front of you. Then you're gonna run for a second away from the frag. Then you're gonna hit the deck with your feet facing towards the frag, head facing away. This way, the fragmentation hits your feet, and does not hit your head, so you don't have no fragmentation pieces on going towards your brain. Everyone get what I'm saying? Or shrapnel, I should say.
Yes, Sergeant.
All right. All right, Private. Cannot go ahead and throw your frag. So you get practice with it.
Frag out.
Frag out. And then Private Wicks.
Oh, wait. There we go. Frag out.
Frag out. Then recover. Alright, and lastly, effective screening. Effective screening basically encompasses that you want to conceal something best as possible without it seeing you from multiple or multi-directions. So, effective screen is bunkered. Some things I need to know. I need to know where the wind's going and how fast the wind is going. So press Shift Kilo. Let me know you see an arrow on the top left hand side of your screen. See your Private Connaught?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. So, I want to screen this bunker. What smoke I'm going to select?
Red.
Now, I'm going to conceal it.
Oh, then yellow.
Yellow, there you go. Use yellow smoke then. I'm going to say smoke out, let everyone else know where I'm throwing the smoke at. Since smoke is going from behind us, I'm going to make sure my smoke gets behind the bunker. It's never going to work. I don't know if it's going to work, but smoke out, let everyone else know that I'm throwing the smoke. Oh, there we go. Get behind the bunker, and then the wind will pick up the smoke and bring it towards the bunker. It all depends on the wind speed. The wind's going about 3 knots, so we'll reach the bunker and get behind it. Or in front of it, I should say. Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
That's alright.
Are you going to follow me? I go on my left and on my right.
Huh, I think I skipped this last time.
Yep, because we didn't have time. Alright, are you guys on my left and one on my right, correct?
Yep.
Yes, Sergeant.
Bye.
We can hear what you were talking about, Sergeant. About
What?
you were continually transmitting.
It is? Yeah, I know. Worry about it. I don't know why he's doing that. Alright. Alright, so first we'll go over just some rates of fire. So first off, it's sustain or effective. We call either the two. Ineffective firing, rate of fire, I should say. Essentially shooting or launching one round every 2 to 3 seconds. First off, let me tell you this. So these rates of fire are ways of conserving your ammo, number one. And number two, effectively put rounds down range and actively try to engage your target. Those are ways of reason why we use rates of fire. So for rate of fire, like I said, sustain or effective firing mode, rate of fire, you're gonna shoot one round every 2 to 3 seconds. Now for sustain, rapid for rate of fire, you're gonna launch 2 rounds every 2 to 3 seconds. So you're basically doing a double tap. You're essentially doubling rate of fire of sustained or effective rate of fire. The next is cyclic. For cyclic, now I'm going to do 3 to 5 round burst every 2 to 3 seconds. Now to do a 3 to 5 round burst, you're going to get to the full automatic firing mode, and to do so, you're going to press your Foxtrot key, or what we like to call it, the fun key. Now just cycle through to your automatic fire mode to basically shoot a 3 to 5 round burst. So, standard effective fire mode would sound like this. Load, 1 second, reloading. Range is hot, put your earplugs in. You sure you have some heavy helmet on.
Plugs in.
Plugs in.
And then for I don't want to say, for rapid firing mode, rate of fire will sound like this. Doing double taps every 2 to 3 seconds. Then for cyclic, you're gonna do 3 to 5 round burst every 2 to 3 seconds. And how do you do that? You ever know? Remember, I should say.
Press the fun key.
Yep, press the fun key and cycle to your automatic fire mode. Be able to essentially do those 3 to 5 round bursts. So it sound like this. All right. Any questions?
Yes, Sergeant.
All right. Let me show you the rate of fire. How it sounds like with the AR. Stand by. Or should I say the M249? And it's like same thing with the M240 Bravo.
Will you be going over talking guns?
Yeah, if you need me to, I'll go over that. Yep. Time is permitted for do that. All right. So for standard effective firing mode with the M249 or an M240 Bravo with the automatic rifle, you're gonna do 3 to 5 round bursts for sustained or effective firing on rate of fire. 3 to 5 round bursts every 2-3 seconds. It'll sound like this. Reloading. So your plugs are still in. Disregard the rate of fire I just did. I have apologies, I was paying attention, but this is how it should sound like. I'm just shooting at a random place. I'm not actually shooting the targets. Alright. That's center effective. Now rapid, you're going to essentially double it. So you're going to do 6 to 10 rounds every 2-3 seconds instead of 3 to 5 rounds every 2-3 seconds. It'll sound like this. And lastly, for cyclic, you're going to increase it once again. Instead of 6 to 10 rounds, will then be 12 to 15 rounds. It'll sound like something like this. Loading. Do everyone get the difference between the two?
Yes,
Or just the M4 and with the M249 and how the rates of fire are?
Yes, Sergeant.
Yes, Sergeant.
Give you guys some range time out here. It says we don't have any time to salvage for. Actually, we do, but I don't know. But actually, just go ahead and give you guys some range time. Go ahead and practice with the weapon systems that are in the arsenal box. Do not use 320. You can use the AR here. I can't tell you what is our designated DMR, so you don't use any DMRs. But use M4, AR. You can use a shotgun if you want. Any of the sidearms we have in there, whatever else.
Alright.
Let's see if we can salvage some time for the information, but I don't want to take everything. I'm not gonna do 2 extra if you go to me. Not 2 extra, but you still there, Stonesy? Count to when you followed. You followed 4 days ago. Yep, I remember stuff. I'm not like no stalker or anything. Followed you.
Loading.
But thanks for the shears, though. Stonesy 87 bits. It's still kind, though. Thank you very much. Very kind of you, young sir. My baby streams in the hill. I don't know. I don't know if how bored I'd be, but yeah, just Test out this grab skirt I got.
The M249.
Yep, go ahead. Just don't grab the 320 or the 203.
All right.
Yeah. Let's me get heal. Stream some Rainbow Six Siege. Have myself a fun day today, as there's nothing to do today. Like being. Sometimes I get bored. I just start walking in circles outside the house, and I'm like, my brother starts calling me weird. Call him weird.
All right. I think I'm good.
Still got some sidearms in there.
Oh yeah.
And a shotgun.
Wait, I don't think I have a loadout that has the shotgun or the sidearms.
Just grab the web system and grab the magazines prepared for it. Stones, you in a unit? Unit Stones? I don't know if you heard me, but unit Stones, you. Duh. Forgot about that. Forgot all about that. My bad. Duh. I should have known that because Stone, and the Stone. I should have known that.
All right.
Like some having a little trouble over there with the arc.
So AT. Are we gonna do the AT stuff?
No Ichi.
Okay. I mean, yeah, ATs just don't stand behind it when it's firing, basically.
I just really want to use this. I had to remake my class.
But you're always free, like hop down on people's channels. Like I be in my channel, some people in my squad being, some people being all in channel my squad. At around the nighttime, we be playing some games. I mean, like around nighttime, like around like 10 Eastern, 11 Eastern, playing some random games like squad or insurgency or whatever. Hey, thank you for the follow, Saucy Muffin. But the schedule. Oh, okay. Schedule pretty tight right now. Okay. Oh, you able to fill the Task Force Alpha? Is FTX tomorrow?
Oh, the fucking. Oof.
Alright, they're about ceasefire. Go ahead and get yourself back to your rifleman loadout. We're gonna go move back towards. Well, not move back, but move towards AT range, so go and rally on me once you're ready. Can you hear me? Like, all right. Doorbat, just grab your rifle and load out. Go ahead and rally on me once you're ready. Yeah, it's till later.
Oh yeah, no, now I see what you mean. Yeah.
Do you guys have your Vector 219?
Hang on, let me check.
Yes, Sergeant.
No. No. Now I do.
Are you going to follow me? Okay, go ahead and line yourself up right here on these sandbags.
Oh. Fun time, boy.
Oh, so we are doing some AT practice.
Yes, I fucking.
All right, go ahead and
love
press your
anime.
Bravo key. To pull out your binos, press your Bravo key. Bravo. So, Num, you have your binos on you? Make sure your condition 4 as well.
Sergeant.
Make sure you press your Bravo key. There we go. All right. Make sure you're not looking down sights. Make sure you're on third person. Look at this BTR I'm pointing out. Everyone see that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. So first off, BTRs have tracks. I'm sorry, tires. BMPs have tracks. So BTRs have tires. BMPs have tracks. All right. So now you can look down your binos and look at that BTR I pointed out earlier. The one closest to us. The one with 12.7 kpvt turret, machine gun turret. All right. So, go ahead and basically detail you guys how to do target acquisition with your binos and how to call out targets, target identification. So, first off, to get the range, the bearing of whatever you're looking at down your crosshairs, whatever that crosshairs is pointing on or touching, you're going to press and hold onto your tab key, and then it'll pop up, you're going to release. It gives you the bearing on the left-hand side. So, I got 122. Whoever's on my left might be 123. Whoever's on my right would be 121. Now, if you
It says 139.
139,
Oh,
you're
139.
yeah. I was about to say yeah. You press and hold on to your R key. It'll give you the range 147. Whoever's on my left will be 146. Whoever's on my right will be 148 possibly. But still, it's just off by 1 increment, and it really has an effect on our shot. As long as you're right on the person you're spotting for. Okay, you get both a bearing and a range same time for pressing and holding onto your tab and R key, and then releasing once you see that red circle, and then you have the range and bearing at the same time. Any questions?
No, Sergeant.
Okay. And from this point, now we know how to function our vector. Now we can go ahead and go over target acquisition and calling it out. So you're gonna call out everything exactly in this order. BTR bearing 122. Range 147. You want to put a break between each one you're saying. I say it very slowly. So BTR bearing 122. Range 147. Everyone get what I'm saying?
Yes, Sergeant.
Okay. Now, I say it a little fast, but you gotta actually say it a little bit slower with breaks between each between each of 3Ds, and 3Ds mean description, direction, and distance. That's the order I went through it. Which I advise you guys to do it, but it doesn't matter which order you do it. Distance, description, direction. It could be any order, but the order I like to give it is description, direction, then distance, because all those are actually in the same order it takes for a person to find a target. Alright, now once he's found the target, he will say either rocket prepped, which means he found it. If you see that he's still looking for it and he doesn't say rocket prepped, then you're going to point it out for him. Tell him this one. Point, shift, tilde. Tell you point. So tilde is the key on the left to your number 1 key above Quebec. There you go. So you can point it out for him. And then once he's found it, then he'll say rocket prepped. And then he'll say, what's next? Say rocket prepped, then clear back blast. When he says clear back blast, you're going to look behind him and make sure his back blast is clear. Here are the places where it's not clear. If someone's right here, or right here, or right here, they'll get knocked out by the back blast. If there's a building right here, or a wall, back blast is not clear because he could get knocked out by his own back blast. However, there's no one behind it, and you tell him his back blast is clear. There is someone behind him, you tell him back blast is not clear, and then you tell the person every 26 cuss words you can think of, whatever, to get out the way. Tell them every cuss word you want, tell them get out the way. It don't matter if the first sergeant or the captain. Tell them get out the way. Because then when you curse at them with every single word you know, they look at you, and you forget who's cursing at me, let me get their names to give them NJP, they realize that they're in front of a whole funnel of or cone of the back blast, and they'll move out the way. So make sure you let the person know. Don't be scared to tell them, and be very demanding and assertive with your voice, your tone of voice. Tell them get out the way. Any questions? But don't be rude about it though. All right. When once your AT gunner says rocket, 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 put away your binos and go ahead and put your rifle in your hand to gauge any enemies that come out the vehicle once the vehicle is hit. All right. Any questions with being a spotter?
No, Sergeant.
All right. Go ahead and pull out your rocket, scroll wheel, weapon, and 136 heat. Or you can press your 3 key, I think it's 3 or 4 or whatever. Alright. So you're given description. So I heard it was a BTR. And the bearing was given. Bearing was 122. So we're going to look around for it. You'll pull out your compass. Going to hold on to your kilo key. Or you can double tap your kilo key to have to toggle your compass up. Once you find out some bearing of 122, you believe you see the BTR it is, and usually it'll say the closest one. It's okay, I got it. And then it gives it a range. When we get the range, gotta make sure rocket's prepped, so you're gonna press the R key. The bearing's 121 for you, Private Wicks. Or 123 maybe, I think. But just stick to 122. Private Wicks, pull out your rocket back out. There you go. Alright, you're gonna press the R key to load up your rocket. And then, you're gonna look down your sights to make sure you're looking at it. And then you're going to open up your sights. So open up your sights, you're going to press Control, / or / Just one of the two. Mine is just / So there's open up your sights. Make sure you look down the sights to press that key. I press that. Look down your sights first. And then press / right above your 8 key. Does that work?
Yes. Oh, thank you for telling me that.
Wait, what is it? I'm sorry.
/
That just pulled up the group channel.
No, / above your 8 key, not on your question mark. Do you have a numpad or no?
Oh, and the numpad.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Alright. Then you tell them rocket's prepped. Now you're ready to launch that rocket. Wait, first I didn't give you guys a range. Range was 144. So closest range you could put up is 150 because it only ranges up by 50 increments. You tell them rocket's prepped, clear back blast, and then he's going to look behind. Are you going to look behind you to make sure your back blast is clear, or is your spotter going to do it? Yes or no?
Spotter, if you want.
Spotter's gonna do it, but he's gonna keep your eyes on the prize, because if there was a building right here and a building right here, you said look behind your back blast, you and your spotter both do that, the BMP's either gonna move forward or backwards, and we lost eyes on it. Don't make that mistake. Alright. I'm gonna clear back blast, do not launch your rocket, guys. Only I will be launching the rocket. Tell them clear back blast, and when it says back blast clear, they're gonna say rocket. If your back blast was clear the first time, and then you're given the go ahead to launch a rocket, how about this? No. If when he says back blast clear, then you'll say rocket, wait a hot second, then launch it. Now, if your back blast wasn't clear, then you're gonna say again, clear back blast. This time as in the demanding way, not as asking him if your back blast is clear. You're gonna say clear back blast. And if someone's still behind your back blast and it's still not clear, then you could launch whenever ready. You'll say rocket, rocket, rocket 3 times to give the person leave no chance to get away and let everyone else know you launched a rocket. You'll say rocket, 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 then launch it. So I'm saying clear back blast. I don't know if my back blast is clear, so clear back blast.
Back blast clear.
Roger. Rocket. And then as a spotter, you're gonna give your rifleman the BDA or whoever's creating a rocket. So it'll be a battle damage assessment. So what happens to BTR? Is it catastrophic? Was it get hit? So what happened? What did a rocket do? And the status. So good hit, bad hit.
Good
And
hit.
if it was a good hit, status of the vehicle. Is it smoking? Is it cooking off? Or is it catastrophic? Smoking means just smoke coming out of it. And if it's smoking, it's still operational. It can still turn its turret towards you sometimes, or it just will not move anymore. It can still turn towards you, or it can still move. If it's smoking, it can still turn its turret at you and shoot at you. Sometimes it can still move. If it's catastrophic, we know for sure it's dead and it can't engage us anymore. And then once you launch a rocket, you can drop it to the ground, engage any guys see come out the vehicle. Then when you're done, check on your condition. Make sure you're not bleeding, because it still hurts the spotter whenever the spotter's right next to you and you launch a rocket. It usually hurts him. Any questions between the spotter and an AT gunner?
No, Sergeant.
All right, Private Knot and Private Wicks. Go ahead and you two buddy up with each other. One be the spotter, one be AT gunner, then rotate. For everything I just said.
Okay. Wicks, you're going first.
Oh, okay.
Pick any target.
Alright, BTR 109.
Ooh, we're almost
carrying,
done.
And range is 195. You got it?
Got it.
Range was 195. I hope he remembers that.
Rocket ready?
Alright. Your back blast is clear.
Alright.
Rocket, rockets, rocket.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
You remember that? Besides, my microphone was
Can't
muted.
tell if you hit it, but I think it was a little bit short.
It was a hit. These vehicles aren't set to blow up. So sometimes it may be a miss, but that was a hit. But they're set to invincible.
Alright. Alright, good hit. Okay. Good turn. I don't care.
Alright. Private Cannot, your bearing is 138 and range is 107. Target is a BMP.
107. Got it.
Yep.
Rocket prep. Back blast clear.
Back blast clear.
Rocket, rocket, rocket.
Ow. But, yeah. Looked like a good hit. Definitely hit it.
Bad ninja in your leg.
Oh, thank you.
Alright, come over here, rally on me.
Yeah, Arma physics are what they are.
I fucking, I love the AT4.
Yeah.
Look closer. Alright, that concludes day one. We went over everything that needed to go over, the formations, but they will pick it up on tomorrow at the beginning of class, or the most time you're able to go over formations. Though, however, we will some quick more information to tell you guys though. First off, your direct chain of command, like I said before, is first sergeant. If he doesn't respond to you within 40 hours, you send it to Sergeant Myers. Do not be afraid to send the question to first sergeant. He will not yell at you for a question that you're confused on of anything. However, though, in addition, I should actually say, make sure you send every question you have about OSUT in relation to OSUT to the first sergeant. Don't be asking anyone about questions about OSUT, about, hey, we could train on this. Hey, what was can't remember my notes, is this correct or not? Now, always people have the most accurate information as possible, other than us as instructors. People who you should go to if you need a right then there answer, even though I still advise you to go to the first sergeant. If I'm online, if Sergeant Myers is online, you can ask us, or Sergeant Myers is online, you can ask him or the first sergeant. But first sergeant is your primary COC. That's the person you need to contact first. You ever understand me?
Yes, Sergeant.
Alright. Now, in addition, you guys are more than welcome to fill in for any squad training that happens. So all the ones tomorrow, you can fill in for those squad trainings, give yourself more experience, and help you out more in OSA and what to do in terms of movement and maneuver and everything along those lines. What's someone know? Make sure you guys are on time. What it means to be on time is you got to be 30 minutes before start time. You got to be 30 minutes before, ready before start time. So start time is at 1300 Eastern. You got to be on at 12:30 Eastern. This way, if anything may happen, such as if your computer crashes, you get enough time to restart it back on, turn it back on. You load the server, or you realize it's Arma 3 update, you got enough time to update your Arma 3. You realize that the mod pack update, mods got deleted. You got enough time to not only mods, if you don't take your computer that long or internet that long, download mods. Though everything like that is safety precautions. That's why you want to come in early so you can prevent stuff like that from happening. Alright, and what it means to be early means you be on an hour on before start time. Anyone have any questions before we close?
No, Sergeant.
No, Sergeant.
Alright, gentlemen are dismissed. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon and evening. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you,
All right.
Sergeant.
Most likely won't be there, and if First Sergeant or Sergeant Myers can't make it, I will be a little late because service doesn't end until like 12 or 1 o'clock or something. So I will be there. You're not there. Alright, see you guys later.
Alright. Thank you, Sergeant.
Yep. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I'll be streaming either King of the Hill or whatever later on, Rainbow Six Siege, about an hour, 30 minutes. So stay tuned. Make sure you follow so you can be able to know when